Maybe after the game I'll watch Abigail because
You really should. It's so good.
Which one was that, Abigail?
I can't see. You said it was really good. The twist in it. How's your week been, Glim?
very slow. Hold on.
Did you say very slow?
Yeah, it was very slow. Very, very.
I had a very hectic week at work. It was very. It was. It was very stressful. Okay, I was very stressful.
Surprisingly, Swindle's the last one in the room. If everyone wants to. Oh, there he is.
He's there.
Last of all. I mean, he has the smallest legs, so it's not surprising.
Okay, let's here, fucker.
Oh,
Everything decided to update all at the same time.
I mean, you almost keep
is it Rumpelstiltskin?
Oh, fuck's sake.
Can't even shorten that because you can't. I can't call you Rumpy.
Rumpy.
Rumpy. I can't call you Rumpy. That sounds dodgy.
It's a very different kind of role playing.
Yeah.
Or just, then again, if you call him stilt skin, they're like, oh.
Are you a little back from
Yeah.
the microphone, Glim?
I know you're quite quiet, Glim.
You're not very quiet. You're a little bit quiet.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a bit better. It's just because if I turn up the volume on I don't want to turn up volume Discord and then you lean in at one point and fucking blow my ears out. Which has happened on several occasions.
Whopper! Oh, shit. Okay, sound chat. Let's try it.
Yeah, that's
See
okay.
how high.
Cause your mic's good quality, but like the volume varies depending which day of the week it is, man.
Alright, how do I sound now?
That's perfect.
Yeah. That's another thing too. I always lean in because I make sure that you guys hear me.
Yeah, you lean in and then you lean back and eat and then you walk across the room and then when you come in and you're like right up to like this.
Yeah. Because I'm always worried you guys don't hear me.
You do this all the time, man. Yeah, but that's then everyone turns you down because you're doing that and then when you come in normally nobody can hear you.
Yeah. So how do I sound right now?
That's fine. That's fine.
Perfect.
Alright, I moved my mic way back.
How are you, Goose?
I'm good, thanks. Slightly relieved to not be the last one in, but only by 2 minutes.
Yep. Swinny's letting down the team.
Oh, okay, sure.
You know I joke.
Well, if it wasn't for the fact that Discord decided to like update all at the last second, I was like, seriously?
Yeah, that's Laura's excuse sometimes as well.
Yep.
Okay, well this works out because now I can actually do this in the order I wanted to do it in. Instead of having to just jungle around. So, quick recap, because I didn't actually listen to last week's episode like I meant to. So we had Gloria, Farringdon and Weston and Cian were all at the bar, the pub outside. And you were all there originally, but you started talking. And then one of you, I think Cian, you tried to deflect Gloria's questioning by mentioning like the painting or something. I think that's how the conversation went. And as a result of that, Adam and Lewis went off to develop the photographs. Does that sound right to everyone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what the conversation went on as at that point, but Lewis and Adam left, and you took the quick trip. I mean, it's only a couple of minutes not even a couple of minutes by motor vehicle, down to where the lab was, the dark room, where you started developing photographs, and the photographs came out that you expected to come out, to the fish on the deck, such. But then there was a photograph that came up, and it was a group photograph of you all, including Adam, and Marcel with his arm around Adam and his arm around Keen. I think that's how I described it. And his like smiling face in the middle. Which photograph you do not remember anyone taking. And it would be odd that you weren't taking it yourself, Adam, as well. But then another photograph developed, which was the cave painting. And although it looks like just a dark, smudgy blur to Lewis, as if there's a fault with the lens or the way it's developed or whatever, for you, Adam, this shapeless form in your memory from the time, this thing that you saw in Italy, this thing that you can't remember exactly what it looks like, you just have an impression of it, and the memory of the smell in the place, it's as clear as day to you in this photograph standing in front of the cave painting. So I'm going to take us to the dark room. And you didn't pass the insight roll that you made as a result of that, so you are now panicked, fear, overcome with like temporary insanity, whatever kind of form that takes. And if you want to, just take it from there.
So yeah, I'm freaking out. Do you see it? Do you see it? That's the thing. This is the thing I saw.
I can't see anything, Adam. It's just a blur. There's nothing there.
I'm telling you, man, this is the thing I saw.
And you're taken right back, Adam, to that point, that day, or the afternoon that it happened. And you and your unit are surrounding this villa. There's a sniper on the upper floor, covering a kind of kill zone around the building. And then Johnny kind of like gives you the nod, and he makes a run for it across the kill zone, dives in through one of the windows, and then you like run across the yard, following him under the hail of fire. And as you stumble into this like living room area in the villa, you see the tables being knocked up over against the door, chairs being tipped over against the stairs to try and block it. You hear 2 gunshots pop, and then you kind of like run down this little stairs in the kitchen into a basement just to make sure that there isn't anyone else hiding there, and you swivel your gun around left and then right, and there's a body between 2 large casks of wine, large barrels, and this thing is standing there. Standing's a strange way to put it. It's more like posed there. It doesn't seem to have legs. It's been supported by like the trunk of a body, and then it comes up humanoid, and there's 2 arms, and there's something that would pass for a head with bulbous black eyes and long drooling teeth. Its skin seems to be not liquid itself, but dripping with something very thick and gloopy and black as tar. And there's this overwhelming smell fills your nostrils, and there's the body of a man torn asunder in front of it. And you're just frozen there for a moment, eyes locked with this thing. And then you hear the shout of the men behind you, and you turn around, and then you turn back, and it's gone, and the body is just lying there.
Can I try to draw it?
Sure.
What I need for that?
I mean, you don't need to roll anything for it, I don't think.
All right, so I scoundrel around the little photo place for like a pin or something.
Yeah, I think there'll definitely be pens, pencils there.
And I try to draw it.
You grab one of the papers that they're lying around, start scribbling down. As he's scribbling down, Lewis, you start to smell burning. And you turn around and you can see 2 of the pictures that have been like pinned and hung on strings across the room to dry off are catching flame.
I think I'll try and pull them down and like try and stamp the fire out, to stop it spreading any further.
Which picture of those?
I mean, you could choose which one it is, but he's going to rip a picture, drop on the floor, start stamping on it, And then the pictures that are still sitting in the tray of the liquid that they used to develop on the table across from you, one of them just goes up in flames.
Well, because I took down the creature picture.
The painted
so
one, yeah,
it must be
sure, yep.
So it had to be the other ones. I'm like, oh.
One of these ordinary ones, yeah. But the tray that's still developing, one of the pictures that hasn't developed yet, is like, just goes up in flames as well.
How far
Is
did
the
I
fire?
get with Tron?
Sorry, I was just gonna say, is the fire spreading? Is it? Does it?
It's a separate fire. Like, there's nothing clear that would have sparked it, but this tray of the liquid, the acid or whatever they use, just goes up in flames as well. Flames are just like licking the roof of the small room you're in. And it's a very small contained space you're in.
Yeah, I would try and like pull my jacket off and like try and put that over it to see if I can smother the fire.
Okay, sure, just start beating it down. What did you want to say, Glenn?
Oh, when I see this start happening, I pocket the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And my little hat, I don't know how fast I am in the drawers, but I do that picture, that drawing I made. I start helping them.
As you like throw your jacket over one tray, another goes up and another, and soon like there's like 4 of them on each side of the room on the shelving, and all of them in turn go up in flames. And then the rest of the pictures that are hanging up drying also start to catch fire.
What the hell? What? Why are they getting on fire? There's no.
Adam, we need to get out of here. This is not safe.
Yeah, on it. Let's get out.
You run and grab the door to the room and pull on it, and it feels as if it's locked.
All right. Were there fire extinguishers back then? No, there weren't. Were they?
There was a form of them, yes, and there probably would be one in this room because of the materials.
On it. Take the fire extinguisher. Start extinguishing.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a water one. I don't think it's probably going to be like a carbon dioxide one or something. The fumes over the place catching your nose, start making you like catching your lungs, making you cough and choke a little bit. Your visibility is like practically nil with just the red light in here and all the smoke and fumes. And then just for a moment, Lewis, you see a kind of like shape in the smoke, this like large figure. And then, but as the smoke kind of wafts in front of your eyes again, it just disappears.
Oh, he saw that?
He saw that, yes.
Okay. I'm too busy extinguishing.
Is it anything that I would recognize? Like, does it look like anything I've seen before?
Why don't you make an insight roll?
I was afraid you might say that.
Come on, I can't be the only one with 4 blocks of insight already checked.
There is something disturbingly familiar about the outline of it, although you cannot place it.
Okay, I would be probably quite freaked out by it. I'd probably just chalk it up to the smoke.
There's a click noise and the door just kind of opens a little bit by itself. You see a kind of static crackling sound in the air. It's a little bit like radio static, but far more organic. And it sounds as if it's just kind of like all around you. It's not coming from any particular direction.
So is the fire still going or?
No, after you extinguish it, the flames are out.
I take the picture out to see if it's okay.
Yep, one in your pocket is perfectly fine.
Okay, put it back. Okay, we need to get out of here. Is there still smoke?
Yeah. As soon as the door kind of cracks open, it all sort of like just starts flowing out through the doorway.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, we need to get out of here.
You just run out of the dark room along the corridor. It seems a lot darker out here. I mean, the light, this whole interior place is very well lit, but the bulbs are all kind of like hissing and flickering, fading in and out. As you kind of wind your way around, you're not quite sure. There's a confusion maybe from the fumes, but there's a lightheadedness, and you just kind of find yourselves standing next to the passageway that was cornered off previously, where you were told there was a number of accidents. You're not quite sure how you ended up in this part of the network. You're not quite sure how you haven't ran into anyone else as a whole. There's thousands of soldiers stationed in here. But you seem to be in this passageway alone and the lights are flickering.
What's going on? Let's go find our group.
Yeah, I think we need to get back to the others.
Alright, we're going back to the group.
The sort of hissing, static, crackling sound feels as if it moves from around you and coalesces and like disappears down the passageway.
That's nice. We're going to the group. I'm sorry, I'm going full nope here.
Yeah, I mean, you've got your bearings now. You know where you are. So if you want to run out, you can just run out.
Yeah.
No,
I think...
I'm power walking. I'm not running.
So yeah, what we said.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I think getting away from where this is happening is probably the best course of action.
Yeah.
All right, so two of you boosts out, and before long you're out in the cool night air, and breathing nice fresh sea air. You can see there's like dozens of soldiers sort of milling about. There's like big floodlights on. Actually, no, they probably wouldn't be on because of the bombing. They've probably got like hooded lights on, so they can see where they're going and such. But there's lots of soldiers, moving things around.
All right, I'm going to go up to. Who's out? You said all the mates are out. So.
Well, I mean, these are just soldiers that are stationed there, just like moving cargo around and things like that.
No.
Was it the? There was someone in the base that we spoke to get permission to use the dark room. Should we like report the fire to them?
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah. The quartermaster or someone probably, or whoever's in charge of the sort of media center.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, let's go to the quartermaster. That's a perfect.
Sure. You turn around and enter into the tunnels again. Sticking to the more well-used, well-lit ones, although none of the lights seem to be acting strangely now as you head back in, and you can quite easily find the office where you're supposed to report in. You can see there's already someone, shouting at someone angrily for like, who the bloody hell left it like that?
We slowly go in and we wait.
Upon catching sight to you, the courtmaster person or the clerk that's on duty would like snap his fingers towards you. You two! You were left in charge of the dark room. What the bloody hell happened?
We were
Sorry, sir, there was a fire.
Yeah, there was a fire.
You know you're not allowed to smoke in that room.
We don't smoke.
I don't know what caused it, sir. I don't know whether it was the chemicals or what. It just seemed one of the photos just seemed to combust, and suddenly the flames were everywhere. We tried our best to get it under control.
Well, that sounds bloody unlikely. I'll be writing this up. Right, but there doesn't seem to be any permanent damage done, so off the two of you go.
Alright, sir. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
So while those two are away, and they'll be away for a little while, Gloria and Cian, Captain Fanged and Lieutenant Weston are left outside this bar. Weston is not drinking. He has a drink there, but he's just kind of nursing it, not really drinking it at all. Farrington has been helping himself generously to the spirits on offer, much to the chagrin of Weston. And the doctor is giving you dirty looks. Not doctor, sorry. The lieutenant's giving you dirty looks, Dr. Pemberton, because obviously he's expecting you to prevent this happening again. But the captain's in pretty good spirits, and he seems excited about this photograph that's going to show him, although he's a little irritated that nobody told him at the time there was a whole new discovery there. And he starts talking about cultures and history and things he's researched, and he seems quite a lot of knowledge on a lot of different topics relating to history, especially like ancient cultures of the Mediterranean. But he does tend to waffle and drone on and repeat himself quite a bit as he drinks more.
I'm taking it a wee bit easier tonight, Paddington.
I don't know what you mean, ma'am.
I was pondering about your chat about the what's called the spiritualist chat that you were having about, you know, that you and your family went to see you know, the seance, and I just think like I'd like to do something like that to see if it was real for like my dad. I couldn't believe as well that that this chap here, Kian, and my mother were you know, acquainted at some point when I was a child.
And Farrington kind of goes pale, loses the colour from his face, and almost knocks over his drink. And he kind of clenches up one fist, and the other hand is like grasping the table edge. And he's like looking at you very hard and strangely. And then his eyes frantically kind of go between Weston and Kian and yourself. And he looks as if he's trying to say something, but all that he just starts like drooling from the corner of his mouth. And then Weston stands up. It's like, "Sir, are you all right, Dr. Pemberton?
Yeah.
Is something wrong?"
I will I will check on him. Give me a second with him. I'll, you know, I think he needs air. He needs a bit of air.
Yes, of course. He starts unbuttoning the top, you know, couple of buttons on the guy's shirt and pulling it out to try and make room. The captain like leans back, just stares straight up at Weston, and his arms seem to be almost kind of like rigid at this point. And Weston is kind of just like trying to unhook him from the table and push him backwards, so there's enough space for you to get to him.
Okay, and then I just put like, you know, I'm like, get me a jug of water and and a towel, so that I just, you know.
Weston just looks at you for a second, Kian. Well, don't just stand there, man. Do as she says.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Kian was gonna help move the captain, but yeah, he'll hesitate for a moment, but he'll go and get the jug of water and towels, or at least go to find some.
Weston's sort of just bracing him by his shoulders, holding him in place so he doesn't fall out his chair. What's wrong, Doctor? Is he having a stroke?
I think he'll be fine. I think maybe he has something to say.
The captain is just kind of heaving and...
Okay, I think maybe we take him outside.
I mean, you are outside.
Yeah, okay. Are you okay, Captain?
I think I just need a little lie down. Just to catch my breath.
What set you off? What was the trigger?
Blasted woman, I don't know. And he like reaches forward, grabs one of the drinks on the table and just chugs it back. Weston just kind of looks at you with a mild concern.
Okay.
Do you think it's something serious, Doctor?
He seems to have went through some sort of traumatic event. Did something happen to his family?
Can you make an investigation roll for me?
Yeah.
You've got 2 dice. If you want anything in depth, you would have to re-roll with your insight. Do you want to re-roll?
Yes.
Okay. So just add same roll with the insight. Okay, so you tell this is just a big anxiety attack he's having, a major panic attack.
Okay, this is just a panic attack that he's having, so the water is probably going to be the best for him. Can you put some water on his wrist, making sure he's got like water in his wrist, and his neck.
Yep, Keen comes back over with the jug of water. And the captain, the lieutenant, dips his fingers in the water and rubs over the man's wrists. Farron is just huffing and puffing between, like, trying to pour himself a second drink, where his hands are all, like, shaking.
Kian, can you take that alcohol away from him?
Blasted woman, if I want to drink to steady my nerves, then I'll do so. I'm perfectly fine. Stop the fussing over me. It's ridiculous.
Kian will take the bottle in his hands and, like, put the cork in it, or, put the cap on it.
Yeah, as you do that, Weston sort of, like, moves in between the captain and the table. And he's like, Captain, I really think you should retire for the evening. Clearly, you're exhausted from the journey. Isn't that right, Doctor? Tiredness, that's all it is.
Yes, it's tiredness and a panic attack, so some rest would do him some good. So, yeah, if you can kindly take him home, Mr. Weston.
Lieutenant Weston. But yes, thank you, Doctor. Come along, Captain.
Thank you.
I'm sure it's okay for you to have a nightcap before you settle down for the evening, but you should rest. Back to your quarters. Come on. And he just sort of, like, gets to feet, and as the captain's mumbling and repeating himself the protests, but they're kind of weak protests, and Weston just sort of, like, puts his arm around him and ushers them away, and turns around to you, Doctor, before he leaves, and just gives you a nod. And they head off and back in the direction of the hotel that you're staying in, or the apartment building you're staying in. I can't remember.
So what did you think about that then?
I'm not quite sure.
Was very telling. Which way?
Certainly is hiding something he doesn't want to talk about.
Yes. I'm sure a lot of people are hiding things they don't want to talk about.
And Gloria and Kane are left, not on their own because there are other people in the bar still, but you are on your own, standing outside at this little table with the drinks you were at.
I forget, was the bottle like the captain's, or did he get it from the bar?
I think it would have been one he got at the bar.
Okay, fair enough. I'll just set the bottle on the table, and I recall he poured Kian a drink as well, but Kian didn't really take too much of it, and I think Kian will go ahead and just knock it back.
Well, he actually drank your drink while you were away, because he grabbed a drink and drank it because he'd knocked his one over.
Oh,
so,
that's okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
so yeah, you can
then.
refill yours. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. Kian will definitely pour himself a quick last drink before setting it aside.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, the captain has good taste in whiskey. You think to yourself.
Can I do a sort of you know how like you have a sort of flashback when you're younger?
Mm-hmm.
Roll, what would that be?
You don't need to roll for it, but if you want to describe me what it is you're remembering.
So Gloria's at her Aunt Dorothea's house, and her mom is there with like a group of people, and she notices Kian's look. She can remember what he looks like because she's been in what's called, he was briefly in Glasgow, and it was around the time her dad had, went missing. So,
I mean, you two might remember this. Did Gloria ever actually share a physical space with Kian?
No. I remember that much.
She didn't share a space, but she was in the house, but she wasn't introduced to them.
Right, so you're thinking maybe Gloria as a young child was like peeking around a corner in the house or something like that?
Yes.
Or like out a window, probably more likely, because I don't even think, I think the only house Kian was ever in was Mildred's sister's.
Oh yeah, that was true.
Yeah,
but that is the aunt. The aunt is the sister.
Right, at the aunt's house. Okay, so maybe we could say this. Okay, give me an insight roll. We'll see if that actually happens.
Okay.
Fair enough.
You've also got the case of people with false memories, They're putting two things together and they're kind of imagining it, and it appears as a memory to them.
God, I actually have that in real life. It's so fucking irritating.
Everybody has it, man. It's like you and things that you do remember, but you over time you remember them differently. You remember them from like a different angle and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Because your imagination fills in the gaps.
Yeah.
So Gloria, yeah, there's just a moment here, and this is what you're imagining as your young girl. You poking your head around the corner of a room, and your aunt's, and your mother's there with these men, and one of them turns around to just look straight at you for a second, and it's Keen's face. I'm a younger version of him. Or perhaps in this moment it doesn't look like a young version of him. But this is, you're going to lose it at this point in terms of holding yourself together mentally. So do you want to act that?
Yeah. So she slams down the drink and she looks at him.
Keen's drink that he's drinking or your drink?
My drink.
Okay.
Is like, I saw you. I saw you at my aunt's house when my father went missing. You turned around, you looked at me. I know I saw you. Why are you lying to me?
And imagine she's got more of a sort of manic edge to what she's saying, as if she's like ready to just like burst out with emotion of some sort.
What type of game are you playing? What is this? Why are you not telling me everything?
I mean, I really don't understand what you're talking about, Gloria. I've told you that I've briefly worked with your mother. I've never seen you before.
You have. You've seen me. Why do you have to lie like this? Please tell me the truth. I need to know the truth.
And of course she's doing this at a much higher volume than she was previously, and people that are inside the bar start to turn around like, what's going on out there?
Please,
right.
please. If this was my father, please.
Gloria, it's very
I
late.
have the right to know. I'm not leaving Keen until you've told me. You need to tell me.
Just like grabbing your jacket by this point.
Yeah, no, to be honest, I think Keen's also trying to kind of not like roughly grab, like try to restrain Gloria or anything like that, but is trying to like keep her, trying and failing to keep her from making a scene. Is trying to like kind of usher her towards like the doors. Like I really think we need to get you to bed, at least to your room. Like we can't, not here.
Did you kill my father? Did you?
Oh, no.
Did you kill my father? Is this a plot? Was this all a plot? Was that what made my mom go insane? Did you in a group of men murder my father? Did you? Did you murder my father?
Are you like?
Wait, are we in the room?
Are you doing this like menacingly, like desperately into his ear, and he's kind of sort of a manic whispering, or are you like yelling this at him now?
I'm yelling at this at him. I just don't care who anybody hearing. I'm just like saying.
Wait, we hear all this?
No, you are still away doing your thing just now because you haven't been away for very long.
Okay.
Yeah, no, kids just again trying to like trying to de-escalate the scene, trying to like one hand, one arm around Gloria, the other hand kind of just sort of waving away the other bystanders, like she had a bit much to drink. It's been a long night, blah blah blah, women and their emotions, yada yada.
I've had one drink, Kian.
All
the more reason. You're a very small woman, but Gloria, we need to get you to bed. You're saying crazy things at the moment.
Kian, Tell me, did you murder my father? Did you and that group
Gloria-
of men?
Gloria, I've never killed a man.
What happened? You know what happened. You have to tell me. You have to be honest and tell me, or I'm going to think that you murdered my father, and I'll have to get a private investigator involved and the police involved. Has anyone got a police officer in here? Has anyone got a police officer?
So imagine you're like halfway down the street at this point because he's tugging you in the arm and you're still like yelling and still resisting.
Yeah. How tall is Gloria compared to Kian? I think. I mean, I've always said Kian was kind of a shorter man, but like, how tall is Gloria?
She's about 5'9".
Okay, she's not too tall. So Kian's going to just sigh and he's going to try to pick her up and throw her over his shoulder, fireman Gary style. He's kind of going real misogynist and is like, all right, you stupid lady, fucking.
Okay, so you roll other actions, and Gloria, you can roll the one that says fail your roll.
Okay.
I'm just gonna assume the one dice then.
You could have two because I'm guessing you're quite a physical job.
Okay.
Okay, so you actually overcome her, and you're able to pull her up off her feet like you wanted to.
Yeah. Kian's more just sort of frustrated, and with Gloria's resistance, and making a scene. And obviously, it's not a good look for him to be carrying this screaming, kicking woman over his shoulder. Saying things like, "Is anyone a police officer? Help! Blah blah blah." But he's sort of, again, just sort of making up excuses like, silly women and their emotions and blah blah blah. She's had a lot to drink. I'm just carrying her to bed. Blah 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 blah. Whether he's successful in persuading passerby that he's not being a creep or anything untoward happening, Kian really doesn't have the time to worry about that, and is literally just going to carry Gloria to her room.
She's just like saying, "He killed my father! He killed my father! He killed my father!
And
he killed my father!"
So Adam and Lewis, you pull up in the motor car. They've already gone inside the apartment block, but you can hear Gloria still like banging on her bedroom door and screaming this into the night as you like pull the car up.
Hey, what's going on here? What the hell? Why is she screaming?
He killed my father. He killed my father. He killed my father.
Keen, I'd actually like you to make an insight roll because you rolled a 6.
Okay.
Yeah, you keep it together, you're fine.
Yeah, I'm alright.
Why did you kill her father?
Okay, first of all, you don't know anything about me or what she's talking about, so without evidence, you can't say that I murdered anything. For another thing, I didn't kill her father. She's drunk. She doesn't know what she's talking about. And I certainly don't know what the fuck she's talking about either.
He knows what happened to my dad, and he's my father, and he's not telling. He's not
Are you behind
telling.
the door?
Yeah, I'm just like crying behind the door.
I was imagining you leaning out the balcony, like yelling it down at them.
And I then start saying Faddington. Faddington.
I do think Weston will make an appearance at this point. With you, Keen, and Adam, and Lewis. And just motion to the Gloria's room. What the devil is going on?
He killed my father. Or he knows something about my father's disappearance, or what happened to him. I need to know.
You're on the balcony.
And I am not drunk. I have just had one glass. One glass.
Okay, but he's standing in the hallway talking to them.
Yeah, but I'm just like shouting this.
I don't know what's going on. We just came back from a very dangerous thing, and something about fathers being killed. And then I currently look at.
Good God, Mr. O'Doyle, what did you say to her to set her off like this?
Yeah.
For fuck's sakes, I didn't do a damn thing.
Well, she was fine a moment ago.
Yes, she was.
And then
Just
I
as much
just,
shock or confusion to you as it is to me.
I just like climb down the balcony and then like I'm like I need some answers now, Mr. West, Lieutenant Weston. You need to tell me what happened to my father. Did he kill him? Because did he kill my father?
Yeah, so
I
Weston
remember.
grabs you, Gloria, and he's like, calm down, Doctor, calm down. You're being hysterical. There's no need for this.
Please tell me the truth. I need to know the truth.
Mrs. Pemberton, no one has killed your father here. Just please relax.
Well, tell me what happened to him. I need to know. It's 22 years and I do not know what happened to him, and that this man is involved in my father's disappearance and death.
Okay, well, we will get this sorted out. Mr. Barker, would you please take her and set her down in the sitting area?
Yes, sir. Come on, Doctor. We can't make a scene here in front of everyone else.
Barker,
we can get this sorted out.
Can you get me a cup of tea, please?
Of course, of course.
Milk.
Of course. I'll try and escort Gloria to somewhere she can sit down and hopefully feel a bit better, and then I'll go and get her a cup of tea.
Weston takes. Sorry,
Hey,
Adam.
O'Doyle.
He's not joking.
Sorry, what?
I just said your name, so I know. I was like, hey, O'Doyle.
Sure.
I take out the picture. I'm like, what do you see? I show him that picture. What does he see?
The same as Lewis. The cave painting with some sort of problem with the lens or with the development. It's black smudge all over the centre.
Bit of a flip-flop from, asking me why I killed her father to showing me a fucking blurry-ass image.
Oh, so you did kill her father?
No,
Weston.
you asked me.
You didn't
You
deny
asked
it.
me why
You
I
didn't
killed her
deny it.
fucking father.
So clearly tensions are high for everybody just now because half of you are like cracking. So Weston steps between two of you, puts his hands on your shoulders. Gentlemen, please, there's no need to escalate this any further. Now, Mr. Winston, perhaps you and Mr. Barker can see to Dr. Pemberton and try to calm her down.
Sure.
All right, on it. Now show
Mr.
Mr. Pimpin. Look what.
Sorry?
Oh, I show her the picture too, so she can just.
You go off and show her the picture. She's going to see the same thing as the rest of them.
Okay.
Goes, Mr. O'Dell, please come here. And he's like, ushers you to the side. And he lowers his voice. Now, Mr. O'Dell, I don't know the exact nature of what happened in the incident with her mother, but perhaps you could say something to alleviate her concerns for the time being, at least.
This is Weston or Farrington?
Weston. Farrington is nowhere to be seen.
Okay. Keanu just still very frustrated and angry. Just kind of fix Weston with a look and said, and just tell him like, I've already told that woman everything I know about the fucking subject.
He shakes his head. It's like, I understand completely, Mr. O'Dell, but just for the sake of keeping things at peace, perhaps you could just tell her something to put her, so she can put her fears behind her and so that she can calm down for the evening. Now, I'm sure you had nothing to do with what happened to our father, but perhaps you could just tell her that so that she doesn't, so she can stop blaming you in this instance. Clearly, the woman is hysterical.
Yes, well, I've already tried that, and she seemed to just keep on carrying on. Made a bloody scene of it the entire way down the street.
I understand. It's a difficult evening for everyone, apparently. But perhaps a few carefully placed words would help calm her down.
Off the record, I think you really should just say to her something like about the incident at the vaults. Like,
Yeah, but
yeah.
you would.
I know.
Well, that's
then
what
it
he's
means
that's
that
what
we
he's
can
suggesting.
Move forward with the story.
That's what he's
Just saying.
That's what he's just suggesting. Just saying, tell her something. Doesn't necessarily need to be 100% accurate, Mr. O'Dell. Just something to placate her for now.
Well, I'm not fucking telling her in the state that she is in right now.
Of course, we will get her calmed down first of all, so she's in a state that she can actually hear what you're saying. Now come along. And he walks off towards the room where the others are. And he walks out. Is that Dr. Pemberton? Are you feeling a little better?
Yes, but maybe he has something to do with Matthew's death. Do you think he might have been involved?
I don't believe that's
for fuck's sakes.
I don't believe that's the case at all, Dr. Pemberton. But perhaps Mr. O'Dell has something to say to you that would make you feel a little better. He looks at you.
She just blamed me for Matthew's death. Fuck's sake.
Mr. O'Doyle, please. I don't need another person shouting at me this evening. It's been quite enough already. We know you have nothing to do with the death of Matthew or the death of Dr. Pemberton's late father. Perhaps you could just tell her so. Now, we all have to work together in the next few days, possibly weeks or more. This is not the way we can carry on.
We're there to, right?
Yes, you and Lewis are both there.
I'm like, hesitation. Suspicious.
This is fucking ridiculous. I worked with your mother briefly. I barely met your father. I don't think I ever actually caught his name because she insisted on going someplace she shouldn't have gone. I tried to talk her out of it. Another man, Paul, tried to talk her out of it. Your father tried to talk her out of it, but she fucking refused to listen to reason. She went anyway.
What was the place that she went?
Edinburgh. The vaults under Edinburgh.
Why would she go in the vaults?
Fuck knows. You couldn't talk that woman out of anything.
Lewis, could you make an investigation roll for me?
Oh,
Sure.
fuck. Roll high.
I take it it's just human capabilities, it's not occupational expertise. or
Your occupation can cover it because you're the people person.
Yeah.
You should have 2 dice, not 1.
Oh, sorry, I keep getting that wrong.
I take it you don't want to try a reroll to get something higher. A 4 will get you enough.
I'm having trouble seeing the results, just like.
It's in the chat log.
Oh yeah, I got a 3 and a 4. Does it cost me anything to reroll it?
It doesn't cost you anything, but if the insight dice that you're adding to the reroll is the highest, then your insight will go up, which is not good.
Yeah.
But a 4 will get you, like it says, anything a competent investigator would discover.
I'm just wondering if it's worth. Yeah, okay, I'll give it a go. Is that on the insight dice? Yeah.
So you'll do your investigation roll again, but you'll have all 3 of them ticked.
Right, got you.
Oh, that's exactly what you want. So you can tell that Cian is not only lying about what he's saying here. He's lying about not knowing the father. He's lying about not knowing what happened to the father. You can tell that definitely by his mannerisms, his tone of voice, the way his eyes dart around, the way he's losing his temper over the whole thing. But you can also tell that whatever happened has affected Mr. O'Doyle deeply. And that is why it's provoking such an emotional reaction from him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I might try and talk to him about it privately another time, but I feel like this is probably the wrong time to drag it out in the open.
Yeah, the anger is definitely stemming from the fear.
Yes, because this is all bringing up emotions you don't want to be remembering.
Yeah, like in the back of my head, I'm seeing the vaults and hearing the horrible noise.
Yeah, and not only that, the pestering of Gloria is very like the pestering of Mildred to go in there in the first place.
Oh my
and
god,
such.
yeah, exactly.
All
I'm
these,
having a fucking
it's like a full-blown PTSD episode, man.
yeah. Not yeah, and I'm just lashing out, but still
So
denying everything.
What was in these vaults? Why was my mother and father in the vaults?
I don't know. I didn't go with her.
Is this where my father died? Did my father die in the vaults?
I don't know, Gloria. I never saw your mother again after that. Parted ways because I knew it was a ridiculous idea to go in there. Fuck knows what she found or what she saw or what happened. I cut all ties with her that day.
Can I insight check now?
You can investigate roll, yes. You only get 1 dice though.
Alright. Human capabilities?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I mean, you can tell he's lying though.
I'm
Not in any great depth or detail, but you're like, oh, he's full of shit.
I'm just giving him that, like, is he serious?
Nobody liking you.
So, Weston, kind of says, see, Dr. Pemberton? Mr. Odell had nothing to do with your father's disappearance.
I'm not. I'm gonna leave it here for now, but I will see how the next few days go.
Then I suppose that is the best we can ask for. Now, perhaps I suggest that we all retire for the evening. Clearly, there's a lot of emotions. Everyone must be thoroughly exhausted from the journey and the stressful time we've had with our near misses at sea. So it would make most sense for us to all get good rest, because we'll have to be up early in the morning.
Yeah, Kian immediately stomps out of the room and very, very loudly slams his door shut, but remains quiet for the rest of the night.
Just remember.
Gloria goes to the door of Mr. Farrington.
Weston kind of approaches you as you go up to his door. It's Doctor. I gave the captain a small sedative to keep him calm. I think it's best that he just rests for the rest of the evening.
No, I understand that. I just need to have just a quiet word with him.
Well, he's out for the count for the rest of the night. But if you want to see him in the morning to check up on him, I would actually encourage it to just check on his well-being.
Yes, that would be great.
And then he grabs your arm softly, but he grabs your arm. Dr. Pemberton, I must once again insist that you try to procure the tonic that you suggested before. The captain's drinking is getting more out of hand, and I'm increasingly concerned about his behaviour. I think the best thing we could do is to somehow prevent him from consuming alcohol at all, if possible.
I'll see what I can do, but if you can do me a favour.
Of course.
I want to know what he knows about my father.
I mean, as far as I know, Dr. Pemberton, all that Farrington knows is what was written by your mother in her account of the matter. It's none of my business, but have you tried asking your mother?
Yes, I have.
Well then, I will raise the issue with the captain when he arises in the morning, when he's in better mood. I'm sure if there's anything he knows that's useful, we can get out of him.
That will have to do for the moment. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure, madam. I will see you in the morning. And he retires to his quarters. Adam and Lucius are still sort of standing and downstairs.
Well, I go and sit down and finish this drawing. If that's too much, then...
No, I mean, you can do whatever you want.
So yeah, I sit down and try to make this drawing as much as possible. so people don't consider me crazy.
Ooh, I like this idea. Okay, yes. You're scribbling and scribbling bits out and crunching up the paper and throwing it away, get another bit of paper just to try and get it exactly right. And what about you, Mr. Barker?
I think I'd be a wee bit concerned about what Adam's doing if he's kind of forensically drawing. And you know, are you okay, Adam? I mean, I know we've been through a lot with the fire and
I'm
everything.
not crazy. I'm going to draw this picture right here and show you what I see.
Okay.
Gloria's just gonna go for a walk by the water because there's the water just
I thought we had everyone finally. So you decide after everyone else goes to bed and Adam's sitting up drawing that you want to go for a walk on your own in the night.
Yeah, just go. I just want to go for like a walk to clear my head.
Okay, I'm sure that sounds safe.
Yeah, I'm sure nothing spooky will happen.
Like mother, like daughter, don't you know? Everyone telling her to go to bed and she runs off on her own anyways.
Okay, Gloria, so you put your suit and jacket on, your boots, and you go for a stroll. Now it's January, so it's much cooler. It's probably quite chilly actually.
She
but
doesn't go. She's just like outside the hotel, kind of the hotel, just like sitting outside the hotel.
Okay, so not a big long walk on the coast. Okay. No. Does Gloria smoke?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're sitting out there having a cigarette, basically.
Yes.
So you hear you can still hear some of the birds calling in the distance. You can hear the faint sort of crashing of the waves. You can hear the wind sort of whistling between the different houses, and the cries of some of the sailormen who are still like unloading and offloading some of the ships in port. But it's for the most part, these are all just like sounds on the wind, and it's quite quiet where you're sitting. Perhaps after a time you can hear faintly the snoring of Captain Farrington, as you've kind of become accustomed to on the ship. You can hear it even now, even though he's like 2 rooms away.
Mm-hmm. And then she has her cigarette, and then she retires to bed.
So you throw away your cigarette and like stamp it out, looking at the ground as you do so, and then you look up, and standing in front of you is Matthew. He looks ashen and grey. His clothes look as if they're sodding wet, as does his hair. Can you roll insight for me?
Okay.
Yes, you go into full-blown whatever kind of way you react to intense fear.
So I'm just kind of like scream help, like help to anyone who would hear. So.
Oh, Adam's up drawing, so Adam definitely hear you first.
Huh? Oh, and I go and help. I stop everything I do and I go and help.
One more failed insight roll, Gloria, and you're gone, by the way.
Yeah.
I go and help. What do I see?
I mean, as soon as she takes her eyes off where she was looking, Gloria no longer sees him, but she is now in full-blown panic, so she crashes into you, screaming as she does so.
Oh, hey, I heard you screaming. What are you screaming for?
Matthew, I saw him. He was soaking and his clothes were all ripped.
Oh no.
He's here. He's here somewhere. He's here.
Where'd you show me where you were?
Let's alert the lieutenant, and let's alert like everyone. Like we need to go and find him. He was outside the hotel.
You look where Gloria's fingers are pointing, and all you see is the empty street.
All right, let's go get him. I mean, go get help.
Okay, so whose door do you knock on? Because we're going to drive everyone to the edge of insanity tonight.
Knock on knock on Goose and we knock on Cian.
Lewis and Keynes, yeah.
Lewis and Cian's
Lewis,
door.
you have just put your head down on the pillow when there's like screaming, and then a few seconds later, dum 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 on the stairs, and they knock on your door.
It's Matthew. He's alive, but he was wet and old clothes and that are ripped, and he came up to me and we need to find him.
Well, all right. Well, I'll come with you.
Thank you.
Mr. Barker comes down the stairs in his pajamas.
I think it would probably take a minute to, at least put some, like a jacket on or something over the top of whatever I'm
Sure.
wearing.
Boots, jacket, and pajamas.
Yeah.
You trundle downstairs. Mr. O'Doyle, do you answer your door?
Probably not.
Yeah, you done with her tonight?
Yeah, nah. Kid's done. At most, he might shout "fuck off" through the door, but that's about it.
Sure. So the three of you come back downstairs out into the street. Gloria shows you where she saw him. You can see the stubbed out cigarette. You can see the chair she was sitting in. The cobblestones of the ground look dry. There's no footprints. There's no sign of anyone being here. And you don't see anyone or any lights down either of the streets.
Are you sure it was here, Dr. Pemberton?
It was. He was there. He was all soaked. His clothes wet.
And you're sure it was him? I mean, we've been through a lot the last day or two. I mean, you're sure you weren't having a nightmare or anything?
It was him. It was definitely him.
Okay, we'll keep looking, but I think you'd probably better get some rest. So, I mean, we've had a stressful few days. I'm sure you must be feeling it yourself.
Can you look and I'll retire to my room.
All right, yes, we'll have a look.
Mm-hmm.
So
Look, I've got the highest insight at the moment.
what I was going to say was, as it says in the dice roll there, by default, the way you can reduce insight once you hit 5, you can reduce it down to 4, is by like suppressing Mythos knowledge, which means burning books, destroying altars, just freaking out and just like destroying the evidence basically. And I wasn't going to include that because I didn't think we would get this close that quickly.
Yeah.
But if you absolutely have to, Gloria, you can reduce your insight from 5 back down to 4 by destroying something which is sort of perhaps evidence of Mythos.
I destroy the note that that he gave me. That note that I'd taken about the guy, the funeral one.
Which note? That's no evidence. There's nothing supernatural about that. We're talking about like spell books, altars, photographs of monsters.
Okay.
But you don't know any of those at the moment that you could enact on. But I'm saying if one crops up, you can fly into a panic and destroy it, and that would do it. It's like a manic kind of thing that you're doing.
Okay.
If you don't get to like your letter, because your letter is going to be a couple of days yet before you get it.
Okay, so
It's a possibility, but it's not something you can do right now. So you retire. Poor Lewis is outside in his jammies, looking around in vain. What about you, Adam?
I go back and to where I was sitting and see if I completed the drawing how I wanted it.
I mean, you've got it there, but it's not quite right. The detail's not right. The shape isn't quite right. You could probably do better if you just keep at it.
All right, I'm gonna do it 3 more times.
Lewis, how long do you give wandering around in the dark before you retire?
I think I'll make like a little circuit around the nearby area for like maybe 10 minutes or so, just to be sure that there's no like sign of like wet footprints or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just doing this to kind of be able to say, we looked, but I don't really fully believe that there was anyone there.
Okay, why don't you make me an investigation roll with just 1 dice?
Sure.
Unless you want to add insight to it.
Is it just human? Yeah, just the one, so it's human capability.
Yeah. You always get the human capability one.
Sure.
Oh, pretty good.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you go right around the building. There's no sign that anyone has been here. There's no sign of like wetness, seawater, anything like that outside. But when you pass by the balcony of Captain Farrington's room, you can hear like someone whispering in the room. And although you don't know what it is they're saying, you can make it out. But you don't understand the words he's saying. It's like gibberish. Whatever kind of language or words that they're saying.
Can I see anything like up on the balcony, or?
There's no one on the balcony, but the shutter doors going into the room are open, which is how you're able to hear it. And it's not Farrington's voice, that's for sure.
I would be intensely suspicious of this, but probably accept that there's not much else I can do about it without like barging into the captain's room, and I don't think I want to like get involved with whatever the captain's involved with to that degree if I can avoid it.
Okay, so perhaps with that you go back to the building. Adam's there scribbling away, growing pile of crumpled up papers beside him. He barely notices you as you enter the room.
Are you sure you're okay with what you're doing, Adam? I'm gonna go back to my bed.
I show him the drawing I actually have. I mean, does it look half bad or half good or just no?
I'm going to say I'm going for you're just not going to get satisfied with it because your mind can't capture it properly anyway. So trying to convey it into drawing is like an impossible task. But you might get kind of obsessed with it and sit up all night doing it. But you show him what you've got just now, and he presents it to you. And Lewis, to you, it just kind of looks like a black scribble with kind of black circles on the edges. I mean, it's like black shapes on black shapes, and it's an incoherent mess.
I can't see it yet, Adam. I've no doubt there's something to it, but I don't know, man. Sure, try and get some rest. Maybe you'll be able to picture it better in the morning.
Maybe you're right. All right then. I go to sleep.
Okay, so you're going to give it up.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. So you retire for the evening. Let's see. Cian, you had a couple of drinks. Nobody else really drank anything. So I guess you're all going to remember having a dream. So you are. You aren't quite sure where you are, but you are looking down. You're in a dark chamber. There's a man against the wall to your right. He's bleeding and in the throes of death. There's in your hand is something like fist-sized, warm, pulsating, twitching slightly, dripping with blood. You have the taste of it on your lips, and you drop it in frightened disgust. And you look down at your hands, and both your hands are covered in blood. And you blink, and you're holding a small child. And in one hand, you have the dagger still that you've just cut this child out of his mother's belly. The mother is lying on the ground next to you, dead. And you raise the child up in front of the crowd of 200 or so people, all dressed in robes. And you chant to them, Hamunda, Hamunda. Grant us your strength. Save us from this evil. And you cast the child, this newborn, into the well, as you have done a dozen times already. Hamunda, Hamunda. Grant us your strength. The crowd chants back. But they're not saying this in English. This is a language you do understand, but it's not English. You turn around, and a number of priests bring towards a great python, and they lay it down on the marble slab in front of you. And you say, Hamunda, Hamunda, and you fall to your knees. Grant us your strength. Save us all. And you wait patiently, and it's so quiet you could hear a pin drop, and the snake just flickers its tongue a couple of times, turns away from you and slithers off around the side of the well. The priest, you look to the priest and they're wide-eyed and panicked. You can hear a woman scream behind you, and the crowd starts to get loud and grow into a panic. There are shouts of charlatan, fake, you've abandoned us. And you can hear the crashing of the city gates, and you know at that point that the city is doomed. And then you all wake up. And you're in the apartment building that you went to sleep in. It's a bright, sunny morning in Gibraltar. It's a bit chilly, but it will warm up. You can hear the sound of a motor engine running outside, someone knocking on the door. I say.
Hello?
I say, madam, it's 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was told I was to take you to your ship.
Oh, okay. I'll go and get the others.
He just nods. Thank you, ma'am.
And I just like knock on each of their doors to say that we're going on the ship now.
Okay, so Gloria knocks on everyone's door and tells them to get up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Kian sort of wakes up with a start and is just sort of sits up in the bed, but is just kind of staring out wide-eyed, especially because he remembers the taste of the blood on his mouth and the too familiar weight of the fist-sized twitching mass in his hands, and is really disturbed by that. Whenever Gloria knocks on his door, it kind of shakes him out of it for a second, and he very shakily forces himself to answer the door.
Very tired looking Keanu Doyle opens the door to you, Gloria.
It's time to go with the ships here. Get your stuff.
Alright, get my stuff and go.
I just say to Kian, I apologized to him about Matthew. I'm like, I saw him last night. He was drenched and he was clothes torn. He came up to me and then he disappeared.
Sorry. Of all the things to apologize to me about, you apologized to me about Matthew.
Yeah, I'm still weedy about what happened with my father, but
Yeah,
I
shuts the
don't
door.
think, yeah.
Adam, you
Shuts the
grab.
door, gets ready, and eventually heads out, but not
Yeah.
while Gloria's there.
Adam, you grab your boots and stuff. Just moments before Gloria knocks on your door.
Hi, Adam. Thank you for being so nice last night. Yeah. We've to go on the ship now. They've got there's a car waiting. So.
You are so welcome. Ugh. It sucks.
Yeah, it's too early, isn't it?
You then proceed to knock on Mr. Barker's door.
Hi, Lewis. The car is downstairs. It's time for us to get back on the ship.
All right, I'll be with you in a bit. How are you feeling today, Doctor? Are you feeling any better?
Much better. A lot more sort of insight of what happened last night with the, Matthew. That was quite horrific, but yeah. Just another strand of what goes on in life, isn't it? Life is wonderful that way.
What?
She's lost
Well,
it.
she's
completely lost it.
She's completely like shattered, and she's just like, she sees this guy and then he disappears, and then before it, the whole, the whole toll of the trauma with Kian, and it's just like it brings back, memories of her father, and she's looking at her watch, and she's just like, everything's just kind of like, yeah,
Catching up
this
on her.
is just extreme exhaustion, and just like feeling
On
like
the edge,
her life is a lie, like everybody's just lied to her whole life. So that's what she feels. She feels just like betrayed
And
and
at this point in the
disappointed.
morning, she looks like that as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's shattered. She's got like, purple eyes and stuff like that. She's just feeling really, really, puffy eyes. She's just,
Yeah. So as
she's a mess.
she goes to then knock on Captain Farrington's door, the door opens just as you're about to knock it, and Weston standing there, full uniform. Good morning, Dr. Pemberton. Are you feeling better this morning?
I have that tonic for you.
Oh, excellent. Yes, and he steps forward, pushing you out the doorway back and closing the door behind him. The captain is feeling quite unwell still. I believe he's maybe just hungover, or the after effects of the sedative.
Do you want me to come and have a look at him?
I don't think that's necessary. I mean, if you wish to, that's perfectly fine. But I think maybe he needs to get a bit of breakfast in him first. So I was going to take him down to the officers' mess before we joined you on the ship, if that's all right.
Okay, that's fine. But did you have something to tell me?
No, nothing else. No. Was there something you needed to know?
I still need to know what you know, because did you hear that I saw Matthew?
Oh, I heard some commotion after I retired last night. You saw Matthew? My dear woman,
Yes.
you must be exhausted though. You must be seeing all kinds of things when you're in that state.
No, I saw Matthew. He was.
Sweet.
He's dead.
Well, I mean, he's missing, yes. Presumed dead.
No, he's dead. He's drowned. His clothes are all torn. He's wet. He was like a zombie.
Oh, all right, Dr. Pemberton. He takes
you
a little
believe-
tonic bottle from you.
Do you believe in zombies?
I can't say I do, ma'am, to be honest. That sounds a little unlikely, do you not think? I'm not exactly the superstitious type.
Oh.
But
Strange goings on, isn't it? Strange world.
well, yes, that's the nature of our mission, is it not? But I will talk to the captain over breakfast, or perhaps a little later if he's feeling up to it, about the matter you wanted me to discuss with him, and I'll get back to you on that as soon as possible. But I will arrange another taxi cab to take me and the captain aboard the ship. We'll join you in half an hour or so.
Okay.
So
Do you have that transcript that my mother gave you?
I believe it's on the ship with the captain's belongings. I'm sure I can have him share it with you again. Shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, so he takes the little tonic bottle and then he closes the captain's door, puts on the snib, and then goes over to his own room. The rest of you grab your things, you go down. There's there's a corporal down there waiting with like it wouldn't be like a car, probably like a jeep or something like that, with the engine just idling over, which he's kind of turned off because he's been waiting so long for you all. But the four of you pile in, unless there's any other issues. No? Great. So how's everyone looking as they get into the jeep this morning?
Yeah, it is. Once again, very pointedly not looking at Gloria, although this time it's out of just anger and frustration.
Gloria is like sitting.
Just give her the cold shoulder.
Sitting, basically on the on the other side, far away from him. She's just like, she's more just really, she's still really angry at him, but she just doesn't, and frustrated, but she just doesn't have the energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just two angry kids giving each other the cold shoulder.
Yeah.
Me, I'm in light defeat, but I'm determined now because I'm like, no, I'm gonna try to get a picture of you and take it, you know. So, you know, I'm a little defeated, but it's not gonna stop me.
I mean, you're saying defeated, but more like a renewed sense of
Yeah.
purpose. Yeah. Okay. Good.
I think I would be trying to put a brave face
Yeah.
on it. You know, I'm kind of worried about what everyone else is, because it feels like everyone else is going through like mad stuff at the moment, basically. And you know, I mean, I'd be worried about the dream I was having last night, but I'd also be concerned about everyone else, and maybe trying to like make a little bit light of the situation to try and keep everyone's spirits up. I don't know if I would be succeeding in that particularly, but you know, I'd be trying to like crack about, you know, hey, we're getting a free holiday in Tunisia, and you know, that kind of thing.
I feel like the dream that I had was like, you know, the same dream everyone else had, was like, I felt like I was the child, and I'm just kind of zooming in on that as if it's like it's all about me.
Yeah. What a shock, Mildred's daughter.
Does anyone share anything about what they're thinking on the short, and it is a very short, drive down to the docks? Or is that saved for when you're on the ship? Because you're on the ship for a couple of days yet, so plenty of time.
That fucking kid had two people accuse him of murder. He ain't saying shit.
Okay, so you drive down, and you know, the corporal is just like, it's a lovely morning, isn't it? And things like that, and just very, very small talk. Lewis, for his part, is trying to crack a joke, lighten the mood, saying we've got a free holiday. This is going to be pretty good. And as you draw down to the docks, you can see it's a lot quieter than you would think for this time in the morning. You'd expect the docks to be really busy this time. And as you approach your ship, you know, there's a big steam spout. You can see like the bridge. You can see the crane that's used for like lifting and offloading cargo. It's not the swing crane isn't moving right now. It's just sort of like hanging over the deck. But something is hanging off the end of it. And as you draw closer, you can see quite clearly that it's a body, just sort of dangling there at the end of the rope.
Is it Matthew?
As you draw up, the corporal's like, good God, there's a man hanging from up there.
Do we notice if it's Matthew?
I mean, you can get on the ship and look. The other crewmen, they don't seem to be around right now, which again is unusual.
Wait, we all see that?
Yes, you also see it as you drive up. It's clear as day.
Oh, I go and go see it more to see who is it.
Somebody cut him down. Somebody cut him down.
You run up onto deck, and you're standing right underneath it. And, I mean, you don't want to recognise who it is right now, but it looks like it could be Marcel.
Who?
Marcel.
No, Marcel.
The rope is hanging down. It's not tied in a noose or anything. It's just like a long loop. And just at the very bottom of the loop, his head, neck is just resting in the U-turn of it, the crook of it. You can probably tell right away, Doctor, that his neck is snapped just because of the way it's hanging.
Yeah. Looks like Marcel maybe committed suicide.
No.
You see, after he's run on and you're looking up and you see who it is, Kellyan comes running out from the lower deck. And because he's running up and he's like, what's... And he looks and he says, and he's like, oh God. And he runs over to the other end of the crane and like lowers the rope. It's like a ratchet you turn and lowers it. And as he lowers it, the body just kind of tumbles and hits the deck next to you.
A spot of tea might be good just now. Who's up for some tea?
The fuck? We just found out Marcel's dead.
think she's just like she's taking it all in, and she's just
already
like,
numb.
Yeah, she's already numb, and she's just like.
Kellyanne runs over, and
Yeah.
he starts shouting to the other crew members, and some of them come running up the stairs and out of the building, the building part of the ship. And he's like turns the body over, and he's like, Marcel. He quickly realizes that he's dead. The tongue's just like lopping out the side of the mouth, the neck is broken. This discoloration in the skin and the face.
Kellyanne, can you go and get a body bag? And then we can put him into the crate.
Looks at you oddly for a second, and then looks at Mr. Barker and Mr. Winston. It's like, watch him. I'll be right back. He runs off to get like a stretcher and a sheet. The other men start crowding around the body, and you can hear them like mutterings about bad luck, bad signs. This is a cursed journey.
I'm trying to. I think Kian would look at least around where the body kind of was in relation to like nearby crates and things like that. Was there anything nearby that would suggest he somehow fell from and landed on, into that rope the way he did?
If it could have been an accident, you mean?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Give me an
exactly.
investigation roll with your 1 dice. Second if you want insight.
No, I'm not gonna do
I mean, there's
that
not
just
really any
yet.
point using insight until you're doing the reroll, which you may
Yeah.
want to do if you want anything. I'll say with the 3, you're not able to tell. You wouldn't be able to tell with the 3. You would need better.
Yeah, I'll reroll. Fuck's sakes.
Okay, I mean, by the way, it seems unlikely, but it's feasible if he was up there for some reason on the crane, maybe to untie something that got stuck, or, you're not familiar with how these work too much, but it's feasible that maybe it's just an accident. He's fell down that big open hoop. It just kind of caught him and snapped his neck accidentally. That is perfectly possible. It also seems a little unlikely to you that you would commit suicide by not tying a knot, around your neck. So yeah, to you, it looks like that could well be an accident. A very unfortunate accident.
Yeah, I'll just sort of say if it was suicide, he would have tied a knot.
So the men will fetch a stretcher and a sheet to put over him. The Captain Archer, walks over. It's like, stand aside, you lot. It's like, it gets down. He looks at him, like holds his face for a second. Puts his tongue back in his mouth, closes his jaw. Tries to cover his eyelids. Like he can't close them, but he just like takes his own hat and like puts it over the face. And then he goes through his pockets. And he pulls out a slip of paper, and he holds it up for a second. And then he like puts it in his pocket. And then as he's kind of just like tidying up the position of the body on the stretcher, he just like kind of mutters to himself out loudly so everyone can hear him. It appears Mr. Mr. Dufour is taking his own life. And he paused for a second. Dr. Pemberton.
Yes, sir.
I know it's early, but do you think perhaps you could proclaim the time of death for us?
Yes, sir. The time of death is 6:50 a.m.
Probably like 6:15 to be honest, but yeah.
It's 6:15.
Oh, no, sorry, because you just had to go dressed and all that. Okay,
Yeah,
so maybe
yeah.
a bit later, yeah. Anyway, so you give the time. He stands up and he walks over to you, Doctor. Doctor, I don't suppose you'd be willing to write a death certificate so that we could have this dealt with quickly. We are due to ship out within the next 40 minutes.
Certainly, but I would have to examine the body to see what the exact cause of death. How
Of course.
he died.
Of course. Men, perhaps we could take this to one of the storage rooms. Yes? And the 2 men pick up the stretcher and take away.
I would need a assistant. Is there assistant that can help? I need someone in the room with me?
Yes, of course you can witnesses. You can bring one of your men along, that's not a problem.
Okay. Louis, would you come along with me?
Yeah, okay, sure. I'm a bit hesitant, but I'd be in the circumstances, I'd be willing to do anything to help.
It's like, why do people keep asking me to do things?
Yeah.
Or Lewis.
Okay, so Lewis and Dr. Pemberton go with the captain and the others, leaving Keane and Adam standing there. Keane, as you two are standing there, Kaelin walks over next to you, Adam, and you've had a few words with him previously over the last couple of days. He likes a cigarette and he offers you one.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm like, no thanks, I don't smoke.
Oh, pardon. He lights his cigarette. He's like, you and the others, you're rejoining us for the rest of the journey.
Yeah.
I see. And he just walks away. Does Keane or Adam want to do anything for a moment before we join the others?
Right.
I think I would try to look more around, like some of the, again, just trying to try to investigate more, like the surrounding area, like the nearby crates or things like that, like how he could have fallen, and thinking about the apparent note that said this was a suicide, which doesn't make sense with Kian.
Right, okay, so you're looking around basically to continue the investigation, right, Dad?
Yeah.
Are you asking Adam to help you, or Adam, are you just like noticing him, or what?
I'm not asking, so it's entirely up to him.
So you'll see Keane starting to
That's
like
entirely.
measure up the size of crates and hop up on top of one, and he's looking up at the rope and stuff.
I go up to him like, what you doing there?
Trying to find evidence so that you lot don't accuse me of murdering him.
All right, I'll help since you asked nicely.
You could,
I commence to help him.
okay, you can roll investigation with 2 dice.
Investigation 2 dice.
Yeah, because you have a keen eye, because you're a photographer.
I'm assuming I just won, or
You've already done your investigation. You already rolled
that's
for
right.
it.
That's right.
So natural and experience.
Yes. Yeah, unless you want to do a roll with the insight, a reroll with the insight, Adam.
No, I don't want stress.
Okay, yeah, so that's fine. You try and help Keane, and you're looking at great stuff, but you can't tell anything. You can't add anything extra to what he's saying, or what he's kind of guessing from the layout here. There's no signs of, what did they call it? Foul play. You know what I mean? There's nothing obvious in that regard. It's very possible it's an accident, although a very unfortunate freak accident, because the chances of you landing that certain way and all the rest of it. Then there's the question of why he was up there in the first place. Doesn't make a lot of sense to you. And also, if it was suicide, why would you do it that way? Not outside the realm of possibility, but just doesn't sit right with you. And while you two are kind of doing that, you hear the car pull up. And yeah, Farrington and Weston will be in the car, and they'll kind of get out and come on board as this is happening.
How does Farrington look?
Farrington looks unwell, but he could just be hungover. Looks very pale, a little dishevelled looking. His hair's not quite, as prim and proper as it usually is. He's got his hat under his arm, but he's a little bit wobbly on his feet, but other than that, he seems okay. And Weston is, as ever, his little poodle right behind him. Yeah, I mean, Farrington will come on and he's like, what's all this? And then the others will explain to him. Captain Archer just seems to glower at him and keep his distance. So, Gloria and Lewis use around with a couple of the men. They take the body into one of the cargo holds, lay him up in a couple of the crates. And one of the men will kind of stand by the door in case you need anything. The other one's going to stand outside just to make sure no one interrupts.
Okay, can I have you all wearing a mask just now?
She says,
just give them a...
Yeah, just Lewis that's there.
I give for everyone. Lewis gets a mask too. Like,
Yeah.
everyone gets a mask. Then I put my gloves on.
Hang
And
on.
then
Yeah, there you go.
then I'm, looking at the marks in the what's called near the neck and shoulder area. Do I notice anything?
Well, we just do investigation roll. You got your 2 dice. See how much you can determine. So he's clearly died from the broken neck. There's no other signs of injury or anything that would suggest anything else has happened to his body. Certainly nothing post-death.
Do I notice anything?
Looks as if it must have been instantaneous, so just like snap dead. So at least he didn't suffer. And it's certainly the rope that broke his neck, because you can see the marks where it's, embedded and rubbed on his neck deeply. You can tell that he's not been dead long, but this hasn't like happened 5 minutes ago. Like, this has been the last couple of hours, which raises questions how no one noticed he was hanging there.
Okay. So I'm just like, the period of death is at 4 a.m. Does Louis sort of say anything, or any of the other people that are there, when I say 4 a.m.?
Well, you'll say between like 4 and 6, probably somewhere in that time period.
Yeah, between 4 and 6.
I think Lewis is actually away at the moment.
What does the guy at the door say?
The other man behind you, who's a man called Andrew, he just... Are you sure, ma'am?
Most definitely. The protruding of the skin, and and the decomposition, decomposing factors. Decomposition.
Well, that would mean he's been hanging there for a couple of hours at least.
Yes, he has. Was anyone patrolling at that time?
I mean, the ship had already been repaired and unloaded, so there wasn't anything actively happening on the ship. But I mean, we were all coming back on board this morning.
Who was he paired with?
Well, normally he would be with Matthew, but obviously.
Oh. So was he just by himself, or was there another sailor with him?
I mean, we don't couple up as such, off when we're off ship. Perhaps you should ask the captain, but as far as I'm aware, ma'am.
I notice anything else as well? Do I notice anything, is there any grabbing marks or anything like that?
No, there's nothing to suggest anything has happened to him except a bad fall and a broken neck.
Okay, so there's no holes or anything like that?
No, nothing. There's no other signs of injury or a struggle or anything like that.
Okay.
So as you're kind of doing this, the Captain Archer steps into the room and dismisses Andrew at the door.
So we can say that it was suicide. So we can rule that it was suicide. He died between 4 and 6.
Dr. Pemberton.
Yes.
Obviously, you are the one with the power here to write the cause of death on the certificate, having made the analysis here. Is it not perhaps more likely that the man succumbed to an unfortunate accident?
I would say it's more suicide.
How do I approach this sensitively, Dr. Pemberton? In order for Marcel to receive the full burial from his church, he could not be ruled as a suicide, as a sinful act. It would be far more important to him, and I'm sure his family, if this was ruled an accident.
Accidental suicide?
Well, it would have to be... you would just have to write accident.
Yes, but my profession and my ethics do not.
I understand, Doctor, but I'm appealing to your humanity. You met Marcel. You spoke to him. He had loved ones. I'm sure they would, they would feel a certain way about him taking his own life and leaving them behind, rather than succumbing to the unfortunate. I can't tell you what to do, Doctor. I'm just asking, perhaps as a friend, if you would do us this favour.
I feel like this is a other actions role because I don't know whether she's whether she would or not, because she does have quite strong ethics.
I'm not leaving it up to a dice roll. You decide what the character's thinking and what she would do. If she has very strong ethics and she wouldn't do that, then just say she won't do that.
I'm sorry, Captain. I just cannot do that.
Very well. I will see that his note reaches his loved ones in that case.
Can I do anything to persuade Dr. Pemberton in this instance? I feel like I would feel kind of badly for Marcel's sake, that he ought to get the proper burial and, maybe more of a comfort to his family to know that it was just, an unavoidable accident.
I think if you can RP convince her, I don't really want to leave it to a dice roll.
Sure. Doctor, I know this is a sad time for us all, and I know it's against, your moral duty in this case, but would you not be willing just to mark this as an accident for his sake? I mean, it's a terrible thing that his family should have to go through any kind of stigma because of this. And I mean, if it means that he'll get a proper burial as well, would it not be better for them if we did just say it was an accident? I mean, we can't say for sure that it wasn't, after all.
But there is truth and decency. You've seen what I have went through with my father.
I know you've been through a lot, and I wouldn't want to try and pretend otherwise, but this is just a poor man that's met an unfortunate end at sea. I mean, it's for the sake of his family, I really think that we should try to do something for them.
Well, your charm, Louis Barker. I will put accidental death, but if his wife or his child comes to me, I will say the truth.
I appreciate that. I mean, I think even just for the sake of letting them have a decent and peaceful burial, I think for sure I understand that if they come back to you again, you'd want to tell them about it. But yeah, and in the meantime, I think you're doing the right thing, and I appreciate what you're doing.
The captain is standing back a little bit, raises his eyebrow when you say that, Dr. Pemberton. I'm sorry, Dr. Pemberton. Marcel's wife?
His wife and his kids.
I mean, I'm not sure exactly what Marcel told you, but his wife and children passed some years ago. They died to a typhoid epidemic in Algiers.
Dr. Pemberton feels a bit sad about that, so yeah, she through that as well, she feels accidental death is fine to get him a proper burial. So
does she also remember that she read the letter he had from his family and his boy in England?
Yes, she does.
Just make sure you remember.
Yeah, but then she's just she just has that because she's tired, but then she has that sort of flashback. But what was the letter with his son had sent him a letter?
The captain just looks puzzled. I'm not sure what you mean.
He sent him a letter just a week ago.
I'm afraid that's not possible. Marcel's family died of disease a few years ago. That was his sole reason for when he joined the crew. Him and his friend He says that with a specific tone. His friend, Matthew.
Yeah, that kind of inside she's like, that leaves her a bit kind of feeling a bit cold about this, and she's like so suspicious.
But
She's just like, but she just puts accidental death, and she just hands it over to him. But she gives like the correct time, like she says between 4
all the
and
other
6.
details are there. So he takes it and he doesn't smile. He offers you his hand. Thank you, Dr. Pemberton. This is a very kind thing you've done for us today.
I don't want you. I will not be doing this for anyone further if that happens.
I completely understand. This remains between us in this room and us alone. You have my promise. And he goes outside the room, says to the other men, fetch Marcel Dufawn. I'll grab his belongings. And they take the body back up deck. The men are all kind of like standing in a line as they bring the body up. And they all kind of give lower their heads as it passes by. They take him off the ship. And there's already like a coroner's man drawing up in a vehicle to pick him up. And you see the captain talking to him, talking to the person, and he gives him the certificate and he points back up to the ship, and has a conversation before they hand over the body. And then when they come back up on the ship, he's like, well, men, this is a series of unfortunate events that we're experiencing, but there's still a job to be done. I'm sure I can trust you all to be professional about this and to carry on your duties. And he nods his head, and the first mate just goes, "You heard the captain, on you go." And they all go back to doing their business. Farrington and Weston are just going to be standing at the side while this is all going on.
I approach Captain Farrington and I say, can I give you an examination? You look very peaked.
He holds his hand up. It's like, it's quite all right, Doctor. I am a little under the weather this morning, but I'm sure I'll be fine. A little rest and good breakfast, and this should sort me out. But I appreciate your concern. Thank you. Are you feeling quite all right? There was quite a racket last night, I heard.
Yes, just getting to the bottom of what happened to my father.
I see. So you were having words with Mr. O'Doyle, I assume?
Yes, it was of interesting conversation.
Well, if I can say, Dr. Pemberton, we are on a mission, a military mission at that. So please refrain from another outburst. And whatever's going on between you personally with you and Mr. O'Doyle, you must keep that at a minimum while we're on duty. You understand? Especially
what happened in the vaults to my father.
Yes, well, I mean, it does sound unfortunate. I've read your mother's account, of course, but this is neither the time nor the place with Dr. Pemberton.
It was very strange, wasn't it, though, what happened to him in those vaults? And one might say very paranormal.
Doctor, madam, I've heard your cabin is ready. Perhaps you would like to take some rest for the rest of today. You seem quite haggard.
Yeah, well, I had a dream about a baby and someone chanting, and then babies going down the well with like blooded hands.
Weston gives you like the oddest look. And then he's the one that says, I would suggest you have a rest, Dr. Pemberton. It sounds like you've been through a lot the last few days.
Yes, perhaps that's for the best.
He's going to escort you down to your cabin. Okay, guys, what about the rest of you?
I feel off the record that I think now she knows that, her father, something happened to her father in the vaults, and that's why he died, because Captain Farrington gave that away. So she knows that
Well, you didn't
whatever
give it away. I
happened.
mean, it's in the
Yeah.
account that your mother wrote, because your mother
Yeah.
literally wrote what happened to him in the vaults and what
Yeah.
they saw. That was all there, like word for word.
Yeah.
Well, as best as she can kind of put together anyway. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you've did just that much that it was the vaults is where he went missing, but exactly what happened, maybe you're not quite willing to believe your mother's rendition of that quite yet.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, guys, so what about the rest of you? What would you like to do? The ship is just basically going to unmoor and set sail to continue the last couple of days of voyage from Gibraltar to Tunis. This is along the coast of North Africa. We're in the Mediterranean Sea. You will know that at this point, there is still the very real danger of the U-boats, because I think there was like 60 of them or something in operation in the Mediterranean, although mostly it was the East Mediterranean at this point. But you will still have something of a convoy. It'll be you guys and 3 other ships, plus like a warship or a gunship that's kind of coming along for protection as well. And you will be in sight of the coast to your right-hand side the entire time that you'll be journeying. But for today, just now, once Gloria has their cabin, what do you want to do?
I think Kian's just up on the main deck, smoking a cigarette, probably on the side that still has sight of the coast, and is just kind of watching it sail by.
What about you, Adam?
Me, my goal now is to find somebody who can draw, because I will not let that deter me. And I'll try to explain it to him, if I can do that.
Yeah, you're just inquiring among the crew, trying to find someone who's like an artist.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, let's just say Killian is a bit of an artist. He says, yes, I took some lessons. I can draw. What do you want me to draw for you?
Right when I was going to show him the picture, I go, it's on this picture, but you can barely see it, so I'm going to explain it to you.
He looks a little odd. It's like, okay.
All right. Do I have to roll for this?
If you can see the picture, no, you can take the picture out of your pocket.
Do I have to roll to explain it, though?
You produce the picture, you unfurl it from your pocket, and you have the picture of all of you standing with Marcel.
Okay, I'm freaking out.
So it's you, Kean, Gloria, Lewis, Weston, Farrington, and Marcel on the deck of the ship.
You know what? I never said I got rid of the drawing, so how does the drawing look?
Your last drawing you've got is still there. Sort of scribbled mess that it is.
Okay, so I try to explain it from that drawing.
Sure, okay.
How does that go?
Trying to think here. So other actions, roll with just 1 dice.
You want me to roll you 8 dice?
Yes, the other actions.
All right.
Unless you want a
Other
chance and say it, of course.
Did it go through?
I don't see it.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I mean you're able to get a decent description off as time's going on. The memory of what you saw is like fading just like it did before, and you're trying to like just recapture the essence of it before you're back to that kind of muddiness, fogginess that you had where you couldn't quite describe it. So you're doing your best to describe it to him. He's like sketching it out and asking you questions. Is this quite right? Define this. What was the texture like here? Is this angle right? And you're like, blah, blah, and it takes a couple of tries. But we're going to spend, you'll spend the next hour or so with him trying to just get the outline shape of it correct.
All right.
Lewis and, Kean, you said you're just kind of like smoking and staring off into space. What's Lewis doing?
Yeah, I think I would be a bit, because having sensed earlier that Kean wasn't being entirely honest about what he'd seen, but also that he'd been through some stuff, I think I would try and see if I can look for him and maybe speak to him a little bit.
Okay, so obviously you'll find him up on deck, smoking, staring off out the coast.
You all right there, Kean? You found your sea legs all right?
Yeah. Just wishing I could be anywhere else but here, I suppose.
I know that feeling. I gather you used to work with the church back in Edinburgh. Or are you a man of the cloth, or are you just working with?
Kian kind of has a strange smile at that, but he'll kind of chuckle and go, Not a man of the cloth, no. Uh, Father, Father Campbell is a good friend of mine, and I'd help him out,
Uh, oh,
replastering the walls and such.
sounds like a decent way to be. You know, I mean, I used to cut. You know, I used to get the town priest coming in occasionally, just to try and persuade him because he didn't look after himself too well, and keeping his hair tidy and everything. But he used to have this huge beard on him that I was always trying to convince him to get rid of, and whenever he would say to him, why are you trying to persuade me to get rid of it? This hair is given to me by God, and I always used to say to him, well, you know what they say, Jesus shaves. I'm sorry, that was terrible.
No, that was great. That was wonderful.
That was great in that awkward sort of trying to be funny.
Yes, absolutely. Like,
That was so good. That was great.
I can't definitely there's probably definitely like a very pregnant like pause, just awkward silence, and then Kian goes, "That was actually a really good joke."
So, yeah, I think I would be relieved to see Keaton looking a bit happier and just say that, I mean, I know you're getting a lot of stick from the lady doctor and everything. I don't believe what she's saying about your involvement with her father, but I've known a lot of lads that have seen things that they'd rather forget and all that. So, if you ever need someone to talk to, I'm always here for you, man. I mean, I'm not with those Ruperts running this show. I'm just a man here to do a job and go home. So if you need someone to talk to that's not going to tell anyone about it, just I'm here to listen to you if you need me.
I love the Ruperts.
I remember that being slang for like a British officer in some places.
Sounds right, yeah.
Yeah. I do appreciate it, Barker. I don't think I think if I did take you up on that offer, you would just assume that I'm just as crazy as everyone seems to think I am. And to be fair, I can't say I blame them. I might be just as crazy as they say, but
I'll not twist your arm, man. But I'm always here. I'm always willing to listen to you if you need someone to talk to. So.
yeah, Kean will kind of just pinch his brow and rub at his eyes. It's just she fucking argues just like her as well. It's actually insane.
Was that the mother?
Yeah, Mildred Potts.
She sounds like quite a handful.
Oh Christ, you have no fucking idea. I mean, I can't speak too ill of her. She saved my life a couple of times, but fuck's sake, she's damn near got me killed more than a few times as well. We tried to tell her to just not go into the vaults. I don't know if you've ever been to Edinburgh, but it's really just full of criminals and outcasts, and lots of unsavory people hide out in those tunnels.
If being down there had something to do with her father passing, I can well see why you wouldn't want to talk to her about it.
Yeah, Kean kind of like opens and closes his mouth a couple times, like he's trying to convince himself to not say anything, or maybe he's trying to convince himself to say something. It's not just the unsavory people. hide down there. A very, very horrible man did something. I'm not very, like I said, I'm not a man of the cloth. I'm not even strictly religious. But the only way I could describe it is he did something truly unholy.
At that point, Captain Fangden comes strolling along the deck, hands behind his back, just whistling a little bit. And as he approaches the two of you, he's like, "Good morning, gentlemen," and just continues on his way.
Sir.
Yeah, I think Ian kind of watches Farrington walk away. Again, seemingly like torn between two choices and trying to convince himself which to choose before he just sort of shakes his head and stares back to the coast. I get myself into too much damn trouble. No, it's funny that you should ask if I was a man of the cloth. That's actually hilariously how I met Mildred. Fucking Campbell.
She was a keen churchgoer, was she?
No, sure, fuck it. If you know anything about the Catholic Church, there's not a whole lot of stock put into ghosts and haunted places. A man called Finley apparently was working with Mildred. I never really got that story, how they knew each other. But Finley, another man called Paul, and Mildred just approached the church one day, and I guess Finley had known Campbell, and I guess they asked them if Campbell would perform just that exorcist on some supposedly haunted house. Yeah, Campbell said, "No, it's reputation and all that can't be given any sort of can't be associated with all that, gobbledygook." But in an effort to try to help a friend out, he he passes me a shirt, writes down some prayer, gives me a small bottle of holy water, and he says, "Put this on, read this prayer out, splash some water about, and just to put their minds at ease." Said he'd pay me double what he normally did, plastering walls. Always thought it was funny, a man of the cloth telling me to pretend to be a man of the cloth.
Desperate times called for desperate measures, I suppose.
Hey, suppose I did need the money, but I don't suppose I needed it that badly. Ever since then, I was wrapped up in this horrible investigation. Somehow, someway, I got roped into it. Saw a woman die that night, and then fucking Mildred got hold of some sort of lead. And it led right into the vaults, chasing after a man called Thomas. Michael Thomas. Me and Paul told her not to go into the vault, but she wouldn't listen. Paul even asked her if she was going to go on her own, if we both refused, and she said yes, she'd go in there alone. Me and Paul, I tried to be a good chap. Try to be a good man, at least. We followed her down into those tunnels. She managed to drag her husband along. When we got into the deeper tunnels, That's whenever Mildred decided, no, maybe this was a bad idea, but we were already too deep. And that's whenever it grabbed him.
Although he's alluding to something far worse happening, Lewis, could you roll an insight roll for me
Sure.
at the mention of the name Michael Thomas?
Oh, sorry, the thing again.
No, that's fine. Insight roll's what I wanted. So you managed to keep it together. You know, you don't panic or anything, but there's a creeping feeling of recognition at that name. Because you remember that your father used to have a pen pal by the name of Reverend Michael Thomas.
Shut the fuck up.
I don't think I would mention this to Kean just at the moment. I think I would still be trying to, you know, I can't say definitely what the connection means, but, you know, just... I also don't want to kind of interrupt him while he's getting it off his chest, but yeah, I think I would be kind of worried by that.
I didn't even really see what it was, but it was making this horrible fucking noise, and even now, I could still hear it. Nothing that God ever created could have made that sort of noise, but it was so loud, and whenever it stopped, it just grabbed Alexander, pulled him into the darkness, and that was about all I saw before we ran. Mildred cursing both me and Paul for supposedly dragging her in there, getting her husband killed. Fucking, you could see where Gloria gets it from.
Off the record, biatch. I'm hoping that I get loads of juice from you and I can badmouth your character.
Hey, I'm just spitting facts, I'm just saying.
Well, no, that's not 100% accurate.
There's proof on YouTube. Anyways.
There's proof as well of
Right, I don't need
Kian
people
as well being
arguing
really
out of
bad.
character because they're thinking about the characters. So Kian offloads this to Lewis. And as you're wrapping up, Adam approaches. Adam, you have your sketch. You're pretty satisfied with how it came out. It's an outline sketch of the shape of the creature that you saw. He has the position of the eyes where you wanted them and the sort of shape that passed for a mouth. What do you want to do with this? Glib. You have your sketch, which is about as satisfactory as you're going to get with it.
This is perfect. Perfect. This is what I saw. Thank you.
Kieran just... You saw this thing?
Yeah. And I pretty much explained to him about that mission and all that. And this is what I exactly saw.
So it's a demon of some sort?
But scary enough, I don't want to like overstep myself. I mean, I don't know, but one thing is for sure, you're on the right path. It is evil. Demon, I'm not sure.
Is it possible this demon has cursed you somehow? We've lost 2 men in just the few days that you and your unit have been here.
I don't think so. I hope not. If that's the case, then... By the way, did doctor tell you who she saw, or...
Who she saw?
Here, let's go. Come with me. And we go find Doctor.
Okay, so Gloria, you sit down to rest in your cabin, and after a little while, there's a chap on your door.
Hello?
Hey, Gloria, can you tell him what you saw? Or who you saw?
I saw Matthew. He was drenched. He was his clothes were ripped and soiled.
Killian puts out
And
his hand and is like, no, 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 no. I don't want to hear this. And he makes the sign of the cross.
I'm sorry. I think he passed. I think it was the ghost of him and he passed.
I think that's enough.
He's like looking at the two of you and he's like, and he says something in French, and of course you understand French, Pemberton.
Yeah.
So you're just, he's saying like a prayer kind of thing, you know, a protection, like God protect me. And then it's like the two of you, and he's like, you're both crazy.
I just like hold his hand and holds what's called Winston sad, and I say the prayer as well for like the protection. So
Yeah, he looks very like nervous around you two, and he looks to where you're holding like the picture in your hand, Adam, and he just steps away from the two of you and he says, "Don't talk to me," and walks away.
I grab the picture from Adam's hand.
The drawing.
The drawing, yeah.
This is the thing I saw.
So it's depicted as a strange looking creature, almost kind of serpent-like, with spindly arms and long claws and large bulbous eyes on either side of its head, 2 rows of them, and a sort of almost like a long maggot shaped sort of head with a small sharp mouth at the end.
This is quite a good drawing, Adam. I didn't know that you were an artist.
Well, it was him that drew it, but now he's gone. I think we better keep this stuff to us and to the captain, to the higher ups, because all we need is all the crewmates to actually turn against us.
True.
All right, I'll let you sleep then, Laura. We're gonna go.
She just like touches Adam's arm and she says, I don't trust Kian. Be wary of him.
Wait, the one that drew the picture?
No, not Killian. Kian O'Doyle.
Oh.
Be wary of him. He's a dangerous man.
Okay.
He's definitely got something wrong with him. I think he's twisted.
When you saw the vision, did he say anything or he just looked at you?
He looked scared in his life, but yeah. There's something, he knows something, a dark secret that we don't know. He's the key.
And of course, Gloria is kind of crazy lady vibes a little bit. You know, her eyes are staring a bit too much. She's a little
they're
shaky.
Not crazy eyes. I'm not crazy eyes at this one because I got
you're one roll away from going completely insane.
Okay,
you are even when you're speaking normally, it's coming off just that sort of edge. Even though you're holding it together just now, I mean, you're just holding it together. Do you know what I mean?
I go, okay, I'm gonna go in the mess hall. Excuse me, I'm hungry.
You get to the mess hall. Kian and Lewis are already there, ahead of you. The guys are like laying the table and getting the kitchen ready to serve everyone.
Yeah, I sit next to Lewis.
So you have a few minutes before the bell's rung to call everyone for lunch. if you want to converse about anything that you might have to say to each other.
I sit beside Adam and have, sit quietly for lunch. Don't say a word.
I'm still looking at the picture because I'm just like, because I'm looking at every little part of this little character.
Yeah, so this is obviously a moment where if you in character would like to tell each other stuff, that might be useful.
Well, I had a bizarre dream. I don't know about you guys, but when after I went to sleep, I dreamt of someone saying Hamunda and blood in the hands, and there was like a baby going down the well. It was a very odd dream.
I had the same dream.
I finally got the picture I wanted drawn, and I showed them.
Sure, pass it to Lewis, who you were with when you were trying to explain the photographs before.
Yeah, do I recognize the figures in the drawings at all?
No, I mean, it's one thing he's drawn, this strange creature that he's had sketched out. I mean, it's not like anything you've seen before.
This was in that picture I tried to show you that wouldn't show up well.
Seems almost like something from one of the cave paintings.
That's a good, interesting question.
What did you see when you were getting the mail? You went into the tunnel, yeah?
What? What are you talking
You
about?
went to get the...
You were the one that went to get the mail. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about the camera when you were getting the photos developed.
I mean, they never said anything about that.
Oh, right, okay.
Can I show him the picture, the photo picture?
Yeah, the photo of all you standing on deck with Marcel, yes.
Yeah. Do you guys remember me actually taking this picture?
No.
Well, Adam's in the photo, isn't he?
He is in the photo, yes.
Or who took this picture?
Yeah, I don't remember anyone taking a photo of us all together.
And now that you're looking at the photo again with everyone, Adam, this time Captain Farrington's face is kind of blurred out.
Why is his face blurred out?
Is Captain Farrington the only one who seems blurred in the photo? Is anyone else?
Everyone else is clear as day.
Marcel in the photo still has his arms around me and
Adam.
I forget. Adam, that's right.
Yep.
Can I have a look at that photo? Do you mind, Adam?
Give her the photo.
She rips up the photo. And
You're gonna do that.
she's like, this is just, someone playing a prank on us. This is a joke, and she's just like,
Okay.
And I forget, what are you doing?
You can lower your insight by 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, she takes it off you and just like tears it up, and you're like, this bitch is crazy.
This is enough for one day. We have a dead body on the boat, and then we have one drowned at sea. People need to pull themselves together.
Just the act of taking that minor form of control is what gives you the sanity back.
I think she's like, right, this is, action.
We still don't know. None of us remember taking that photo, or posing for it, or even who took the photo.
Yes.
And now you've destroyed it.
Well, yes. Do we want to know? No.
Well, you seemed very intent on knowing last night as well. Like,
this is all a bunch of hocus pocus.
Okay, then explain the dream.
You said you had the dream. Did anyone else have the dream?
I saw it too. Yeah.
You all look expectantly at Adam.
Wait, I had the dream?
Yeah, everyone had the dream.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I had lambs and...
Yes, as I described it, everyone had the same dream.
Yeah, I had a dream. I thought it was about, going home. But...
You thought a dream about cutting out a baby and then chucking it down a well.
Man, get your dreams out of my face. But yes.
All right, Gloria. So how do you, if this is all just hocus pocus, explain that. That we've
Well,
all had
it could,
that we've shared a dream.
it could be just that we saw something in the cave, or we saw something when we were in Tunis, and then that's
You've not
what,
been to
you
Tunis
know,
yet.
well, we're, in Cyprus.
You've
so,
not been to Cyprus
yeah.
either. You're in
Okay,
Gibraltar.
okay, when we were in Gibraltar,
Jesus
so.
You know, one is like, what dream? And the other one's like, yeah, we were in this other place that we've never been to before. The attention to detail is staggering.
It's a premonition about going to Tunisia.
As you're discussing the dream, the ding 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 of the dinner bell goes, and the crew all start piling in, followed by Farrington and Weston and the Captain Archer. They'll all take their positions and sit to chow down. It's a quiet, subdued atmosphere. Usually there's joking and laughing. There's just sort of muttering and whispered small talk between each other. Not much in the way of keeping things jovial. Marcel's absence is keenly felt here, as he would be the one leading the way in a sing-song or something to raise morale. And that is definitely felt at the moment. So lunch passes quite slowly. Everyone seems kind of keen to just like eat and get out there as they do so, and they kind of like peel off again one by one.
Is there any way that Kian could grab a piece of the photo that might have survived?
Yeah, you can pick up all the pieces if you want to spend the time scooping them up.
Yeah, I think Kian would do that. I mean, he's not going to assemble it and look at it any further, but he'll scoop up the bits and pieces and at least kind of have it.
Yeah. So as everyone else is kind of like left the dinner hall, and it's just you guys and Weston Farrington. Captain Farrington's like, so, I believe we should have a conversation, mega chaps. Clearly last night emotions were running high. We were all a bit too fatigued. But I'm hoping we can pull ourselves together for the days ahead, as this is where the real work begins. Now, as you remember, we had our telegram. Unfortunately, it seems like our prisoner we wish to interrogate is deceased. Dr. Pemberton, when we arrive, I hope you'll take a look at the body and do me the courtesy of perhaps performing an autopsy, see what you can determine, or if anything could be determined from the body.
Everything was copacetic. I examined the body. Yes.
We haven't arrived at Tunis yet, Doctor. I'm not talking about the unfortunate sailor who has passed away. I'm talking about our prisoner that we are going to Tunis for. Are you feeling quite alright, Doctor? You look a bit under the weather.
I'm perfectly fine.
Very well. So when we arrive, if you could do us the honour of that. And we still need to ascertain exactly what the Nazis were doing in Tunisia, or what this group of the Nazis were doing there, and if they uncovered anything, or what they were trying to uncover. So we must maintain our sense of duty, our objective, and bear that in mind in the days ahead, and not let any petty squabbles or personal issues come between us. Is that understood?
Yes. Maybe it was some satanic ritual.
Well, I wouldn't jump to these conclusions. We haven't even begun our investigation, really. But it wouldn't be beyond what I've heard of the Thule Society and such, from which this department of the SS hails many of its police from. So I wouldn't put some sort of satanic practice beyond the possibility.
Did you see Lieutenant Weston in your journeys?
He turns to Weston, who's sitting right beside him, and says, yes, I believe I have.
Okay. Lieutenant, I think you have something that you were going to share with me.
I'm sorry, madam.
Shall we have a walk?
Oh, of course, if you wish to. Excuse me, gentlemen. He stands up, offers you his hand, Dr. Pemberton.
You were going to give me the letter that my mother had written.
Oh yes, I haven't had the opportunity to retrieve it, but I mean, there's still plenty of time. We won't be in Tunis for another day or so. I will fetch you it this evening, if that's quite all right. Will I bring it to your cabin?
It would be good if we could just go just now.
Well, yes, give me a moment, please. And he goes back and whispers something to Farrington gives him a look and whispers something back to him. And then he leaves the room and he goes off to talk to Pemberton. Do you guys want to say anything to Farrington while you have him here?
Not that I know of, no. Well, not me.
I'm curious, how are you feeling, Captain? Last night you seemed to have had a bit of an issue.
Yes, exhaustion I am putting it down to, but I'm feeling better, a little stronger today. I'm not 100% there, but, you know, push on.
Weston seemed to think you'd had a bit of an anxiety attack or some sort.
Oh, pish posh.
Panic attack.
The man isn't a doctor, and I mean, let's face it, Dr. Pemberton is qualified on paper, but she's a woman after all.
Ooh.
No, my good man, I think a few days, a couple more days at sea will do me the world of good. I'll be raring to go when we land at Tunis. Does anyone want to ask him anything else just now?
I'm trying to figure out how to ask is the problem. I have a lot of questions to ask, but I don't know how to ask them.
Well, what is it you want to ask?
I ask him about what he was fucking shouting on the top deck that one night.
Well, I need to just ask him. Okay, well, Keen is clearly struggling with inner thoughts.
Yeah, Kean's wrestling with the thoughts and is silent.
So, Farrington finishes his lunch and he gets up. He's like, "Very well, gentlemen, I'll see you for dinner," and he walks away. Pemberton, you're led by Weston and down into the front cargo hold, where they approach, and there's like two crates, one sat upon the other. He shifts one to the side, like pushing it back away, and oh, it looks like someone's been in here. Never mind. And he pops open the crate, and he rummages around. You can see there's a bunch of journals and such in there. You can see that on the very top is like a paper journal, the headings in French. You can see that it's, I can't remember the exact title now, but it's titled Ancient Scripts of Ugrit. Study of the Syrian civilizations or something like that. And he pushes that aside and he's like rummaging through the kind of folder and it's like, here we go. And he pulls up and it's like a few sheets of paper in a little cardboard binder. This is your mother's account. You can have it to read, but you must, return it to myself or Farrington, before the end of the evening if you can, miss.
Thank you.
It's not a problem, ma'am. And he closes up the thing and pulls the other crate over the top of it.
Can you share the document?
I don't have the document. So you were there, you played the character. Everything that happened to your character, your mother wrote down as best as she could remember it. That's what it is.
So
I'm not typing out the whole of season one.
Everything that happened in the vaults.
Everything that happened to Mildred, she's written down, or she's told someone and they've been writing it down as she's like telling them it. But I mean, you can tell from the way it's written down and the way she was, it's a little bit rambly. So she's obviously done it during like one of her episodes. So it's a little bit rambly. Some of the details are like in the wrong places and it's a bit jumbled up. So if you can imagine that, that's what it is. But it's a rundown of what happened in season one.
Okay. Can I roll an investigation skill to see like that I fully understand it?
We can. You're going to spend the rest of the day in the evening doing that. You'll just come out for dinner and then go back in for dinner again. Go back in for dinner and back out again and continue kind of like poring over it, comparing it, writing out your notes and trying to make sense of it basically. But yeah, we can do that. Yeah, you will be able to get a clear picture of exactly what it was that was going on. How much you want to... I mean, okay, you're going to have to make an insight roll though. Because you get exactly a clear idea of what happened. Which can trigger an episode. Alright, you keep it together. Yeah, it's unnerving to read about, it's uncomfortable to read about, but I don't know how you want to justify it, or if you don't want to justify it. Like, maybe you still don't believe some of the fantastical things she's written, and you want to ascribe that to her mental state of mind, that she's making up monsters.
But I know that my father was killed by a monster.
But she says your father was killed by a monster. She names Cian O'Doyle and Finlay Young and all that as being present when it happened.
Yeah.
Actually,
all
Finlay
those kind of
wasn't
things.
present.
Finlay was in the tunnel, was he not?
No, he wasn't in the tunnel. Because I think he missed that session.
Ah, okay. I think he was still there, just not character-wise in there, though.
Yeah, I think.
Like, player-wise, not there.
Fair enough. I'll shut up.
But anyway, yeah. So, I mean, he's dead, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're all named there and, like, what happened and the Michael Thomas and that kind of thing. Everything is in there. And you get you lay it all out and write it, like, chronologically, so you've got a clear idea of, like, the sequence of events. But how much you believe about the monster stuff and the demon stuff and all that is completely up to you.
I feel like because of what happened with like the ghost apparition and then like also like just weird things that have been going on and the blurred photos and stuff like that, like I've just kind of pieced it together that like I think she does believe that there's supernatural.
I mean, you can believe it's supernatural, but I mean, maybe she's not quite the monsters yet, but maybe you're like ready to start giving more credence to these things, and that would be a reason to like continue your line with Cian, to ask him like when she's saying monsters, is she talking about real monsters? Do you know what I mean? So that could be a line you could go with it.
I feel like because of the drawing that Adam had drawn and showed me in detail, I feel like she believes that it was a monster, but it's just like things like that, you know, obviously.
So maybe she wants to ask Adam about what he saw.
Yeah,
as well, because these are two people that should have seen monsters, and you're like,
yeah,
right, what exactly do you mean when you say you saw one?
Yeah.
So, I mean, without going into too much detail, how do the rest of you want to spend your day on the ship?
I think trying to keep an eye on Weston, actually.
Okay.
Just like he probably let Weston lead Gloria off on her own for a bit, but after a few hours, he probably goes to check in on her. But like, you know, just to kind of keep an eye, and if Weston kind of leaves her alone, he probably follows after Weston.
Yeah, I mean, once he leaves our cabin to read over the letters and stuff, he's not going to be hanging around there. He'll wander off.
Yeah. Yeah, Cian doesn't want to speak to him. He just wants to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, keep tabs
see
on
what
him.
he does.
Sure.
He's going, yeah.
Okay, so what about Adam and Lewis? How do you spend the rest of your day / evening?
I think I'd maybe have a look around, see if anybody's got like a newspaper or anything.
Cleaning out my camera. Cleaning my camera.
Okay. And you want to go looking for like a newspaper or just stuff to read?
Yeah, I feel like something that, you know, with so something with some news of the outside world might kind of help to take my mind off the situation that we're going through.
Sure.
Just in
Thousands die in Italy.
Yeah. Cheery news.
Yeah, I actually think predominant sort of campaign at this point was Italy still, and the fighting going on there.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Yeah.
Because as Italy surrendered, the Nazis occupied Upper Italy, and then it was a fierce war to try and push them back.
Yeah.
Sorry, did you want to say something? No? Okay.
I didn't say anything.
Okay, so Adam, you're spending your time cleaning your kits, making sure next time something appears, you're going to 100% get it without any distortion.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis spends time reading, just trying to take his mind off things. Keen's stalking a man.
Yep.
It's not that big a ship, so, you know, there's a lot of
Accused
hanging around.
Accused of murder, and I'm stalking another man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then goes missing.
He's going outside to stalk Captain Farrington.
Yeah, so day draws on, you're just trying to pass the time. We go into evening, you have your supper. The mood's lightened a little bit by then. People are also getting tired. A few drinks are shared at the dinner table and such. Farrington is again indulging himself in alcohol. And Weston... Well, you're following Weston, actually. Give me an investigation roll.
Ooh.
Since you're keeping an eye on him.
Just one dice?
That's all you've got, yeah. That's not going to be enough.
Extra roll.
Oh no! Okay.
You're
Everybody
alright.
calm
You're
down.
only at 4, man. I don't know what you're worrying about.
Everybody calm down. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can't believe you get with 2 ones. Also, double one's
Yeah.
not enough, so you're going to have to re-roll that again.
Fucking hell.
There's one
Did you
white,
notice the
one white
double
and one
ones?
green. Yeah.
You're like, roll it.
There you
You're
go.
gonna have to roll that again because
No.
this investigate is 6. So
No,
have
you
to roll it in.
don't need to make an
Oh,
essay roll. You don't need to make an essay roll the first time. He's not going to see
okay.
anything that's going to trigger anything like that.
Okay.
You are going to notice at supper, as or maybe even prior to supper, you can see Weston going through Farrington's things. You probably need to hide behind some crate somewhere or a doorway or something to really see this without him noticing. But with the 6, you definitely managed to see him going through Farrington's things. And he produces a small bottle, pops the cork, and puts a few drops of it into Farrington's hip flask. And then he secures it all the way back where it was. And he gives the hip flask a shake and puts it back where it was. And that is the hip flask that Farrington is drinking from at his dinner. And Weston is sitting there, and this time Weston is not giving him lectures about how he shouldn't drink and how you should lay off it and all the rest of it. He's just quite happy to let him go and do what he wants, which is so far being out of character with how he's approached it.
And I definitely wasn't present for the doctor handing
No.
Weston the...
And
Okay.
Gloria, she comes out for a supper and then she gets back again. She seems in the middle of something or other. She's busy. But the rest of you were just killing time, so after the evening, you're just kind of sitting, having a smoke. All the other guys are having a smoke, if you smoke.
Yeah.
Sitting around. Weston just gone away. He doesn't seem... The thing you've noticed about Weston during the day as well is he doesn't seem to spend any time talking to people. Everyone else is kind of whittling time away and having conversations and stuff like that and sharing stories, but he doesn't do any of that. He seems very antisocial. The only time he seems to really be with anyone is when he's with Farrington, who he follows around like a puppy dog. But when the two of them are walking around and he's following him around, they also don't seem to speak much to each other, which seems kind of odd. But the day is uneventful largely. The evening is largely uneventful. And as it draws on late, you've been up since 6 in the morning, you didn't get a lot of sleep the night before. People start peeling off and pulling out the hammocks and getting themselves ready to go to sleep. Is there anything any of you wanted to do in particular, or are you all happy to just take what you've experienced for the day and go to sleep?
Oh, since I know I'm probably finished cleaning my
Definitely, yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna take random pictures of stuff.
Okay. So just, the crew, bits in the ship.
Well, not the crew, because the crew already don't see eye to eye with us. So
Okay.
just, you know, the night air, how the night looks.
Okay, yeah. You can get the other ships in your group that are sailing all the lights on the side of them just before they go out. You know, hide themselves at night.
Mm-hmm.
The way the moonlight softly illuminates the surface of the sea, which is far calmer than the North Sea was. The Mediterranean is a much more calmer body of water.
I think Kian would probably kind of fighting off, sleep for just at least a little moment. He'll take out the pieces of the torn up photo and try to assemble it and just kind of study it for a second.
Sure. Yeah.
Try to
Yep.
look at Captain Fragden's blurred out face and it's just like, what does that mean? Who took this picture? What does this mean?
As you're up on deck, taking the pictures and such, Adam Kalen approaches you again, cigarette in hand. Excuse-moi, monsieur. Adam, I have a. You said about you've seen these strange things.
Mm-hmm.
I have found something strange.
On the ship?
We. Just the night before we made dock, there was a radio message. It was recorded. And it's very peculiar.
Go on.
But perhaps you or your friends will understand. I don't understand what it is.
Yeah. Let's go talk to them about that.
Oh, So he's going down deck. Keen's lying there in his bunk, just looking up at the bits of the picture. Lewis, I'm assuming, is sat with another paper he's procured from somewhere.
Yeah, probably doing the crossword or something.
So, what do you say to him, Adam? What do you say to them, Adam?
Hey, hey, actually had he says he's doing word puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, about that picture I made. Hey, Kalian, whatever. One of the crew members said that they may have saw this before. Want to come with me and investigate, or?
I think I would be hesitant, but I can see that, Adam's kind of worried about this, so yeah, okay, sure, I'll go with you.
By the way, that's Donkey.
Oh yeah. I'd have probably written in something ridiculous like donkey or something.
Yeah.
He's looking at D space Nkey, and he's like, I just can't figure it out.
Danky? Yeah.
Danky.
Ah, Dinky, that's what it was.
Keen, I mean, your bunk is right, like 2 feet away from his bunk. So as Adam's saying this to Lewis, you would hear the same thing.
Yeah, I'll put away the pieces of the photo and wordlessly follow.
You just walked in the passageway. Sorry.
Did I see him with that picture? I'm so sorry.
Yes, you would have seen him with pieces of the photo.
Yeah, you would have seen me pick it up too.
Oh yeah. So did you figure anything out?
No, it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Nothing makes sense. So yeah, we're gonna see if that thing's on the ship. I hold up the drawing, picture of the drawing. This.
You think it's
I'm
on the
going
ship?
to call it a scaly dog.
I genuinely don't know what dogs might look like in America, but that's not what a dog looks like.
Well, that's the only thing that comes to mind when I first saw it. So, scaly dog.
It doesn't even have any legs. It's just a blob with 2 arms, maybe? Are those antlers?
Yes, it's a Wendigo. Not a Wendigo, a Wendigo.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No.
Kellyanne is waiting for you guys. He's standing at the point that's at the bottom of the stairs to the upper deck, with Gloria's cabin to the side, and then the passage leading to the radio room down by the right hand side as well. So Gloria, you probably like just poke your head out to go get some fresh air or something before you go to bed for the evening, and Kellyanne is standing there smoking a cigarette.
Hey, hello? Are you okay?
Bonsoir, madame. Ah, yes, I'm waiting on your friend Adam. He is gathering the rest of your friends.
Oh,
We have,
what are you doing?
he comes over to a hushed tone. Something was recorded. I can't make sense of it. It's somewhat disturbing. But given what your friends have experienced, I thought maybe it'd be interesting.
Is it the monster?
It sounds like a man, but I don't know what he is saying. There's something very peculiar about it. And if I can perhaps tell you, Madame Confidence, your Weston, the lieutenant, he's acting very peculiar. I have seen him at night, standing over your Capitan, watching him.
Ugh.
That's very odd.
He draws his cigarette, and then the other three come down the passageway together. See you standing there with Killian.
So let's go and get a monster.
Nods his head, he's like, "Wee, this way." He takes you down the passage to a little radio room, and he's all kind of cram in there, and he sits down and he says, "Close the door."
Close the door.
And he takes out like a tape, like the big
The
spindle.
way he's like closed the door, it's like, ooh.
It's like big spindles that they used to record on, like the cassette spindles. And he pulls one of those out and like plugs it in, and he like adjusts the volume. It's like, this was the night before we met Doc. And with that, he just clicks stop.
It seems like some sort of ritual.
But that's where we're going to stop this week anyway.
Ah, damn.
I had a feeling that was coming.
Yeah.
Next week, we will get to Tenez finally.
Yeah, actually, next week will be my last game for a little bit. I'll just miss the week after that. I should be back after like the 1st,
Look,
but the
you don't have
24th
to
I'll miss.
say you're gonna go get the milk, okay? Just go.
Okay.
Six.
But yeah, that's freaking great, babe.
Very.
So much shit's going on, and we're almost going insane already.
And we're not at the first point of the investigation.
We're not even
This is like prologue.
Exactly.
We're just doing
This is a
shit.
bad sign. If this is the prologue, the rest of the story is gonna be fucked for us. We're gonna be flying through characters.
Yeah. Well, you should get your layers when you get to Chinese at least.
Oh god, I hope so. I think we all fucking need it.
Right, but you'll be there for next week, but not the one after that.
Yeah, I'll miss the 24th, but I should still make it for the 17th.
Okay, so
I
you
think we leave
you'll
the
only
day
miss
after.
like the interesting bit. Okay.
I'm trying not to.
No answers for you. Okay, got it.
Oh, are you serious? Is that the week we get our letters? Fuck.
No, I mean you should get your letters when you land in Chinese or the day after you land in Chinese.
Okay.
I just meant
It'll just be-
answers as in like 2 questions you may have about things.
Yeah.
So it depends.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know. I don't know where you're going to fucking be.
Yeah.
Because this journey part's taking longer than I thought.
Jeez, I really want to ask fucking Farrington about Ferguson and the thing in the water and what he was shouting. Oh,
I don't like, but I have all of you on the same fucking ship for days, and yet you are still kind of disparate and not all cohesive.
well,
Hmm.
yeah. Well, to be fair, whenever like most of us are at 4 blocks, we're not exactly clear-headed.
I think the animosity between Pemberton and Kean is kind of an interesting dynamic. You know, I mean, I think very very often everybody's kind of like very together as a group and very
Yeah.
kind of thinking as one voice, but you know, having like different kind of that kind of clash is, you know, maybe a little bit more unusual.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a couple of points I can think of that might be more unifying, but yeah. I thought we might be at that point by now. That's fine. It's all good.
I am trying not to be antagonistic or anything. I want her to know that.
No, I know that.
I'm not genuinely trying to talk shit about her characters or anything like that. You know, didn't want to make her upset.
I'm sure she's not.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to turn this off just now, unless anyone's still writing
Yeah.
something.
I think we're all good.